be on the safe side. Okay, everybody. Welcome to episode 5 of Art of Truth podcast. I'm Joshua Carlton with my co-host Sean McCoy. And sorry for the absence. It's actually my fault. I've been incredibly busy. I went on tour with my band, cured my fucking diabetes while I was, not while I was gone, but it happened. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But we should be back in the swing of things pretty good. I do have a convention in Boise in a week and a half, so I'll be away for that. But we should be able to get some more regular episodes in. Had a ton of feedback. Really just wanted to thank everybody. Even when I was on tour, you know, I always have a habit of stopping into tattoo shops if I see them. Sometimes I know the people, sometimes I don't. I went into some shops and, you know, people were just like, man, I just wanted you to know I've been listening to your podcast. In fact, one guy was eating when I got in there and he was like, this is keto, bro. Like he thought I was going to judge him or something. So that's pretty awesome, actually.
Nice.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So like, there, you know, you are listening. We really appreciate it. We are now available on about 15 to 20 platforms, including as of yesterday, Apple iTunes or, you know, Apple Podcasts. So make sure you subscribe. Thumbs up, give us some comments, give us some stars. If you hate us, tell us why. Probably won't care. Probably not going to change anything, but still be kind of cool to know why. You know what I mean?
it's going to be fun and entertaining to read.
Yeah.
So do that. I mean, if you want to try to troll or whatever, it's all good.
Yeah. I mean, if you have a legitimate, like, I fucking hate the way, you know, Josh's beard looks, you know, hey, you know.
I understand. I hate the way Sean smokes when he starts, you know, okay. Whatever.
Oh, somebody asked me too. They're like, man, where'd you get that sound? It sounded just like a real smoke lighting up. And I'm like, yeah, that was real.
Yeah. I've been working on that since I was 12 years old.
I do that shit with my mouth. But yeah, it's good to be back, man. How you feeling?
I feel great, bro. I mean, it's been over a month. I mean, we didn't record during the whole month of June,
right?
Which is for us a power month. I mean, we're both Geminis, and so I was feeling all these crazy different energies and having a lot of shifts, kind of mentally, emotionally, a little spiritually in me this last month, and that's why I've been so eager to be able to do a fucking episode and talk about some of the stuff that's been shifting and happening.
Nice. Yeah. It's just been it's been crazy. My schedule is always crazy and it's just been insane. And like, I literally, to get even an hour to come here, which I feel is not really fair to try to squeeze a podcast in an hour anyway. Plus when you get here and set up, it's going to end up being 45 minutes.
You tried.
Yeah. So it's better to, you know, have it when we have time. But like I said, we should get a little more regular now. So it's definitely good to be home. I started off, going to visit some family in Arizona, and man, I got to say, like, there's nothing like coming back home when you're somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you're excited to go. I was excited to see my sister, who I haven't seen in 5 years at least, my older sister. And, you know, she's got agoraphobia. She's getting better, so I wouldn't say agoraphobia. She used to have agoraphobia where she literally couldn't leave her house.
Yeah.
So she could not come and visit. She will leave her house now, but it's definitely interesting. She's got lots of phobias and stuff. If she sees some kind of trash, she has to pick up all the trash that she sees, and she's got some stuff going on. But anyway, wonderful person, but you know, I did not want to miss out on my workouts. You know what I mean? My runs, like even the gym, and you know, it was like 112 degrees on average there. And everybody says it's a dry heat, but fuck, so is fire. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know why that seems to be like that makes it okay. Oh, bro, it's cool.
Okay,
it's a dry
dude.
heat.
It's not okay, especially when you're not acclimated.
An oven is dry heat. Why? Oh, it's okay. You know what I mean? It's not okay at all. So I was able to I had to get up fucking before the sun, pretty much. You know what I mean? To run.
Yeah, in the middle of summer, so that's like 5
and
5
it still
a.m.
sucked. Yeah, it still fucking sucked. And then like you have to start your car 20 minutes before you go anywhere, or you're going to die. You know what I mean? Like everybody parks their car and they put this shit in their windshield, and it's like, I don't know why you'd want to live there. Like, to be honest with you, like the cactus is cool and everything, but honestly, coming home to to Oregon just made me fall in love with it, and I will live here forever. This is my home. This is like, I felt like welcomed. You know what I mean? As soon as I landed, I was like, my people.
You get off that plane at PDX and you're like, oh shit. Oh, it's nice.
Yeah.
It's the mama bear porridge. I mean, I said that
because, you know, for like a split second, like, just since I have family there, I was like, I wonder what if I fall in love with Arizona and that's where I want to move. No. I'll visit. Yeah. It's an easy flight. Fuck that.
It's pretty cheap too, because they know that a lot of people ain't trying to really go there. They're trying to they fly. I used to fly into Phoenix all the time, but it was on my way to other places.
And like the first night there, fucking scorpion in the house.
Really?
Yeah. You know what I mean? Fuck
that.
It seems so like, oh, they got scorpion. It was in the house, just chilling. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
man.
It's just what they do.
Just
you know
one
what
of
I mean?
those critters that creep around.
Yeah, and so like, my sister's always like, "Oh, you go out in the backyard and see what we did," and I just never wanted to go outside. It's like it hurt to look outside.
It's so bright, dog.
Right.
It is, and then you're like, yeah, it's nice outside, but it's hot as fuck. So even if
Yeah.
it was really beautiful and there was a fucking something, no, I'm not gonna go out there.
No,
Yeah,
and like I guess one good thing is because it's so hot, there is a lot of cool shit inside to do, and one of the things you've heard me talk about doing was the American Ninja Warrior type of stuff.
Yeah, you sent me a pic of you on some ropes
swing,
and
yeah.
shit doing some obstacle.
I got to go to a place that kind of like prepares you for it and run some obstacles, not the whole thing. You kind of have to choose what you're going to do, and I chose some ropes to swing on, and like you're way the fuck up in the air, like you would definitely break shit. So
the pic I got of you was like
I was in
an up the nut look.
I was in like one of those
a harness
that they use for movies and shit. And but it was cool, man, like because you don't rely on the harness. It's there if you need it, but you can't really like put your weight on it.
No.
And because they'll call you out on it, you know what I mean? Because you're there to train.
Well, homie, you ain't
Yeah.
just training. Like,
No,
it's
exactly.
not bumper rails at the fucking
Exactly,
bowling
yeah.
alley, dog.
So it was cool though because like tons of upper body strength. I've always respected those guys, but holy shit, I did it twice just to like be a dick to myself. But I did okay. I did okay. You know what I mean? And I don't think I would ever qualify to really do it, but honestly, just from being the fat guy to being in better shape now, it felt amazing to be able to do that.
Dude, okay, so the perspective. Let's just take a break real quick to go, okay, 3 months ago, we'll say 4 months. Let's just go 4 months ago, less than a third of a year, 3.5 months. You were fucking not even close to getting up on remember you tripped, you fucking fell on that 2 foot fucking step or whatever at the coast. Remember you ate shit.
If I would have seen that, I'd have been like, that's cool. I would have never even considered paying money to do it. Yeah.
You'd have been like, I'm going to make an ass of myself. Yeah. There's no way I can even balance.
Yeah. And because of that, like when I signed up for it, I'm getting in line and I'm getting the harness on and I'm thinking, God, what if I fucking can't do this at all? Because there's people behind you waiting to go and shit. You know what I mean? And I was so pleased, you know what I mean? And of course, people are taking pictures, and I still got the fat guy picture in my head. So when I see the pictures, I'm like, that's so weird.
It almost wasn't you, bro.
Yeah.
When you sent me the pic, I'm like, what the fuck? Joshua looking great, man.
I just went on
harness.
I just went on. Thank you. I just went on tour, and there's always tons of. It's a tour with my band, This Patch of Sky, by the way, and there's always photographers there, and half of the time I get pictures back, and I'm like, God damn, man, I really fucking got to put the pudding down, So that's been the same thing. Like now the pictures are coming in, the articles are coming out about how the tour was, and it's so interesting to see. So yeah, like I think because I did it quickly, it's like people will lose weight over time and they might not even notice it as much, or their close friends, then a stranger will see them, but it's still that like shocking, especially with pictures, you know what I mean? So it's definitely been interesting.
Dude, it's going to be interesting for you because everything you're doing now is new. So every single, like with that activity, you had no basis to go, okay, all right, I know how I'm going to perform. I know I'm probably only going to make it this far, do this or whatever it is. Now you're testing every single thing you do as a new test, which is fucking awesome, man. I mean, you're talking about rejuvenating your life. That's what it is. And now you get to try all this cool new shit. And we were talking about the gym earlier on our way to the studio. We were talking. Finally, I mean, I see the shift in you. You're going, I'm ready for that. I'm ready for the gym. There's a lot of things I already know that I like. Do they have this? Do they have that?
Right.
Are they going to, they have these things and they have more than that. So we're going to do that.
Yeah.
And then you're going to be able to start incorporating all these other things into your routine and going, oh shit. And as you get stronger, then you're going to be able to push yourself that much more, man. Fuck. Right. Going on hikes, then doing yoga, then doing other stuff. Before you know it, those obstacle courses are going to become that much more fucking doable for you.
Yeah. It's just, I think I was so focused on the weight loss itself. But now I'm eager. I'm excited about the gym. I was lucky enough that we stayed at a really, really nice hotel for 2 of the days in Arizona, and it has like a water park and stuff, but they had a badass gym. And that's why I sent you pictures. I'm like, the gym don't take a vacation.
Yeah.
And I got up early and went every day and just fell in love with it. And, we talked about this on the ride out here, seeing other people motivates me. You know what I mean? So, I'm jumping on the treadmill to warm up, and there's this guy next to me who's easily got 6 to 8 years on me but he was already running at 7 miles an hour when I got on the treadmill next to him. And as I did my kind of intervals of running and walking and jogging, he just kept running for like an hour. Like I was like peeking over at his calorie burn and how far, and I just couldn't believe it. And the guy he was in great shape, you know what I mean? And I kind of wanted to talk to him, but he had the headphones on, didn't want to talk to me. I get it. Right. I don't want to bug people. I wouldn't want to be bothered in the gym either, but I was just like, damn, because I feel good about me. I've really become a true runner. But this guy showed me up pretty hard. You know what I mean?
Well, you always need to keep your perspective because you're only 3 months in.
Right.
So you are not an experienced runner. You are a beginner.
Exactly.
Everything you're doing.
Yeah, I might love it, but I'm definitely
you are, and you've got the passion like a fucking pro.
Yeah.
So everything you do, you're used to being pro. But this is all brand new stuff, and that's why I'm like, I know your intensity. I know how your mentality behind things. When you go hard.
Right.
So that's why I have been so adamant. Like, okay, let me help you fucking make this vision happen because I'm the same way. And I did the same fucking thing. I went hard, balls to the wall in the gym 3 hours a day, doing sauna, doing fucking steam, doing the ice showers after my shit, locking stuff in, got huge. And I got addicted to that, but I didn't do it the right way.
Right.
So it really fucking caused a lot of obstacles for me in my longevity. So it took me a long time to realize where I made mistakes. Where I could have and should have really fucking rested or done other things and strengthened other things and really evaluated what I should have been doing for what my goals were. But, I didn't have that knowledge. Both of us are older, more wiser guys now. You're 40 in your early 40s.
Right.
So, and you have a understanding of like, you're not unbreakable.
Absolutely,
so shit can happen.
Sure, yeah.
And so it's just like, okay, I'm going to be as smart as I can, but still get as strong as I can, as quick as I can. Yeah. So where's that balance?
Exactly.
And I'm one of those guys that I feel like, knowing that that's your goal and that's my goal, we can get on that fucking page so much quicker than you just doing shit by yourself.
Yeah. And I'd say that's good for the listeners. I know a lot of people have been listening as they started their health journey. You know what I mean? Like, that's some great advice. You know what I mean? Like, I know you're eager. I know you're excited, but like, look into it. Take it easy. You don't have to train hard. You don't have to train your balls off every day. You know what I mean? Like, maybe, but what are your thoughts on like a coach maybe? You know what I mean? Like,
totally. And that's why I love the gym, because I get to have so many great conversations with people that are very focused and knowledgeable about fitness. And the people that work at the gym like to talk to me about stuff too, because they'll see me doing new things and they know how much I care about just being healthy, as opposed to being huge or strong or whatever else it is, healthy and safe and strong. But
so you can have the longevity of doing it forever.
Because I get to see these guys who are in their 60s and now in their 70s who have abs.
Right.
And
that's crazy to see that.
And that they can still fuck and they ain't taking dick pills. You know what I'm saying? And that's the other thing is like, I'm so happy and blessed to have never had to take a dick pill. So I've never taken a Cialis, a fucking Viagra, or any of that shit. Not even recreationally. Not even. I should have maybe when I was younger, when I didn't have the stamina. I didn't have, when I was a young cat and I was drinking and shit. You get that whiskey dick. You can't keep it hard. You're not going to spit. Nothing's coming out of that at the end of the fucking night. You just fucking sweating. Just already sweating that whiskey out.
Right.
But I'm so blessed to just have the fucking stamina and core and everything I have now, and had not fucked up any of my testosterone levels or any of that other stuff, or fucked up any of my my natural fucking chemistry, because I have a ton of homies who do, and we know guys who are on steroids or have been on steroids or whatever. They're fucking juice junkies, and they all got to take something. And that's sad to me, because I'm like, if you're in your 30s, 20s, 30s, and you got to take something to enjoy those fruits of life, man. That's kind of a bummer, because where are you going to be in 20 years from now? What are the side effects of those pills? I mean, maybe they're not bad. I don't know, but I'm just,
who knows though? The jury's out.
Maybe your balls are going to just fall off at some point or whatever. We don't know all of the side effects. But I do know that I want to be in as great a shape as I can be and be 60 years old, and that's just odd because I never wanted to be, I would never want to even be 40 when I was growing up.
I was the same exact way. I used to say I wouldn't live to be 21. To be honest with you.
Word.
Yeah.
And I really did live that way.
Yeah.
You know, and then so I felt that way and I lived that way.
Right.
And was amazed to have made it to 21 and then happy to be 33.
Right.
But I love doing all that workout shit, bro. All the core stuff, all that stuff, and it makes me feel so much better knowing like it helps every aspect of my life.
Right.
Even just sitting here doing this podcast, my posture is better. When I was a younger guy, I had horrible posture. I'd slouch. I was always sucking in my stomach because I was fat.
Yeah.
So, you know, everything was thrown off.
Yeah.
And nothing, you know, so once you just stop worrying about being like, oh, okay, well, I look like if you're not worried about how you look and you're just worried about how you hold yourself in your stance, you're so much healthier.
My daughter even noticed it. She was like, you stand different, Dad.
And
she's
you
like,
do.
Yeah, she's like, you stand more powerful. It's
You
like,
fucking
it's
word,
funny,
bro.
right? Yeah.
You do. I mean, and
I think, it's just, having the confidence. It's exactly what you said. I'm not worried if my gut's hanging out.
I got to tell
what
it too.
mean?
I
So,
see it in your eyes.
Yeah. I'm just a happier person all around, man.
Yeah. And we've always been friends, but
Right.
it shines out of you now and
Yeah.
you hold yourself fucking up.
Right.
You know, and it's part of that you don't have 50 pounds holding you down.
Yeah, exactly.
But the other part of that is that you're so fucking happy and you're
Right.
confident. Your vibrations are way higher because you're cruising at that nice level all day long.
Yeah, and that's why, like, it's kind of not to go off on too big of a diatribe here, but I posted a before and after picture of me now that I've hit my goal.
My boy.
Yeah, and so those have been following, kind of have been curious about it, but I did finally get to take my A1C test, and I 100% do not have diabetes. I'm not even pre-diabetic. I was so eager that I took the test. There's a home test. I took it at home. As you remember before, my A1C was 10.1 or 10.4. I can't remember. But it was bad. It was really high. Under 6 is like around 6 is pre-diabetic, and under that you're good. Mine was 5.0. So I was excited, but at the same time, I always have that Carlton curse. I'm like, oh, I'm sure I got a bad test or whatever. So I had a doctor's appointment the next day, but then you got to wait. Well, it actually from the doctor's 4.9. So it's fucking. I mean, literally like eradicated it. Now it's a matter of a journey to keep that up. Obviously, if I fucking start living on cupcakes, it's gonna come right back. But I have got it under control. You could say reversed, you could say managed, whatever. I am non-diabetic as of this point, and I did it through Better Health. So it absolutely can be done. But I noticed when I posted these before and after pictures on Facebook and Instagram, no joke, got 1,000 emails, like 500 on Facebook, 500 more on Instagram. How'd you do it? How'd you do it? How'd you do it? So I wrote a big essay. Actually, my wife wrote it I dictated, she wrote it for me. And I put it on my Facebook page. So Joshua Carlton on Facebook. But I can kind of break it down real quick if we got time.
Yep.
So, kind of like what I said, for those that are wondering, I'm not a doctor. I'm a tattoo artist. I'm lucky enough to do a podcast with one of my best friends. So talk to your doctor. Don't just go and immediately, Josh Carlton said to do this because it's working for me. But I start my day. I want to get my vegetables in right away. So the quickest way for me, it's like Sean likes smoothies. I love smoothies. I like to make a shake. And I found this company called Vega. It's Vega One. The company was started by Brendan Brazier. It's a guy who's a triathlon. Like he's won all these records and everything. And he wrote a book called Thrive. And it's about a plant-based diet. I don't necessarily need to do a plant-based diet. I'm a meat eater myself, but the plants have a lot of good vegetables in it. And so this particular drink, the Vega all-in-one shake, has 3 servings of vegetables and all the vitamins you need daily. So I start my day out with that. I like the mocha myself. I mix it with a little bit of almond milk. And I actually sometimes will get a pack of sugar-free Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, the little miniatures, and I'll put some of those in there for a little bit extra flavor. And for a protein type of shake, honestly, done that way, some ice chips in it, and mix it up, extremely good.
Oh yeah,
I'll take
that sounds
it.
Good.
Yeah, I mean it's delicious at this point to me because of my sugar addiction is totally gone. It tastes like what I remember a milkshake tasting like. Right. So like the smoothies are like that smoothie. When you make me a smoothie, it's like it's so fucking good. You know what I mean,
dude? Good sugars though. I mean, good sugars, man.
So that's how I start my day. So it's about 350 calories once I kind of load it. And I within 5 minutes, I feel like a fucking laser. You know what I mean? I feel amazing for about 5 hours, to be honest with you. So that's my start of my day. and it doesn't give me a big insulin spike. I've checked my sugar an hour afterwards, very low insulin spike. With my insulin being at baseline, I'm able to burn fat when I'm working out much quicker. So that's the start of my day. And then honestly, I just choose wisely. You know what I mean? I love chicken. You know what I mean? There's so many different things you can do. Some good fats, some, avocado. So don't take like step by step. This is what Josh says to do, but I do like to start my day with the shake. Maybe after that, if I'm really snackish, which isn't too often, I found a company called One that makes, it's a protein bar, but they're really, really delicious. They come in a bunch of different flavors, including like birthday cake and shit. I like them all, especially the peanut butter. I'll try to have that as a meal replacement for like a lunch, and then I'll just have a sensible dinner. Nice. I mean, it sounds like some sort of Slim Fast commercial, but that's honestly what I do. It keeps me in a little bit of a calorie deficit. I don't go extreme at all. And that works for me, and it holds me accountable. I have found, for those that are watching, I'm pointing to my Fitbit. This really keeps me accountable. I have the Fitbit Charge too. I mean, it just counts my steps. It keeps my pulse. I can see my calories and everything on it. So at any given time, if I'm wondering if I should have that other serving of food, I can look down at my calories and immediately know if I can have it or not. That's a bit extreme. That's kind of how I run. But for those that are wondering, that's really what I do. And you can read all about it on my Facebook page. Write me, message me. If you have any questions, I would love to give you some advice. Out of the 1,000 people that message me, 50 of them have written back and already started. You know what I mean?
That's so awesome, dude.
Yeah, so kind of just wanted to share that. And while we're on the note of that, I've been having this contest for people who are getting healthy. Oh, yeah. And I'm super happy that we've got a lot of entries and a lot of people got going. But there was one person in particular, Mr. Tim Monser, who fucking kicked it in the dick and lost 25 pounds and gave me, constantly updated with me. And, he even started out by going camping and eating way too much because he knew he was about to start. And I was like, well, not the best way to start, but okay, we'll see. And just really lost weight. I actually saw him the other day physically here at the shop, and he looked like a different person. And hands down, I just had to give it to him. So he was $1,000
Good job, man.
Yeah,
Good job,
man.
Tim.
What I'd love to do, I wanted to ask you, I'd love to have him on the show.
Yeah, dude.
Let's have him on the show. I want to interview him.
Sure.
I want to hear his story.
Yeah.
And, I talk to him daily, and I help keep him on track. And he was going through some real personal shit that I'll let him share on the show. And by being able to focus on his health, it's really kind of turned it around for him. And it's
as you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. And we've been saying, instead of saying weight loss, we've just started saying health gain. You know what I mean? And I like that. So congratulations, Tim. I couldn't be prouder of you. And all of the people who submitted, you all
keep it up.
Ass.
Keep it up.
You're getting T-shirts. You're getting prints.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
So thank you guys. So so that's out of the way. So
with your diet thing, I want to just touch on that, right? Because we're already on it. You were talking about, okay, that's what you did. Right. And you said that's what you're doing.
Right.
Well, now that your fitness stuff is changing and you're going to actually be putting on some muscle and stuff, you're going to be craving other things.
Right, which I've noticed already. Yeah.
Another thing is that as soon as you can, try to transition off of anything that's prepackaged. Mm-hmm. So the bars, some avocado would be probably better for you than anything that is already prepackaged or whatever. In general, you'll end up feeling better. Right. Typically, everybody's different, and it does have to be palatable. And so you definitely want to be like, oh, I want that. Yeah. Because that makes all the difference in the world. But there are those things where, since right now we're in Oregon, we have a lot of amazing fresh berries right now. So many good berries.
And I'm always reading about how good that is. And I knew, you know what I mean? Like when I knew this was just to get to the weight loss.
Because you're there, dude. So this is a part of making the having the energy to sustain the rest of your healthy lifestyle.
Right.
And then doing that also with the intentions of being healthy.
Right.
So not just the aesthetics or maintaining a health or a certain sugar level, because you can do fruit now. Yeah. You can, because you're so active and you beat the fuck out of the diabetes and that bitch is gone.
Right.
She's dead. Now you can fucking start doing healthy stuff. We're not
Exactly.
talking about fucking corn syrup. We're not talking about bullshit cane
fructose,
sugar. We're
yeah.
talking about fucking natural, healthy fruit. We're talking about fresh raspberries or strawberries or blueberries or the mixture of those with an apple, with a handful of really good cashews.
Yeah.
And
I hear
maybe
macadamia nuts are good. Real good too.
macadamia
Yeah.
nuts, Brazil nuts, the selenium in those, man. I mean, you're talking about your fierce beard, bro. Keep that motherfucker on supercharge.
Yeah.
Kill those fucking pills.
Okay.
Or I mean, kill those Brazil nuts.
Nice.
But yeah, that's like one of those things that if you really want to hit that next level of health, I mean, we're getting hippie as fuck here.
Sure.
So break out the tie dye, but that's the next type of step to get that, to even try broaching more of that healthy fucking all around diet, because those natural foods do respond so much better in our bodies.
Yeah. I think that it's just a matter of, finding what works for you. I mean, people have different palates, you know what I mean?
They do.
Finding what works.
And as you change, your body will crave other things.
Yeah.
That's weird because some days I don't crave raspberries or blueberries at all. I've had some and some cherries in my fridge for a couple days and I hadn't touched them because they just didn't sound, but I got home from playing ball and doing some core stuff and they sounded amazing. So I started killing those before I did
Yeah, you just got to listen to your body. I mean, you can go back, like babies will just be drawn to say something with more potassium because they need potassium.
Exactly.
They don't know why. But we drink if you're thirsty, eat if you're truly hungry. I mean, is it in your...
If you're craving a steak or a burger...
Yeah, you have these days
your brain might actually be saying, we need those fats.
Yeah,
we need those
there's
proteins.
days and you're just like, God, just a fucking steak. There's a reason you're feeling that.
Exactly.
Have a goddamn
primal.
steak.
It's primal. And, you know, that goes into all of our original fucking instincts and genetics and stuff. They say humans are not naturally cannibalistic. The reason that tribes or cultures have gone cannibalistic in the past in any region always has to do with the available amount of protein in that area.
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah.
Yeah.
That makes
so
complete
it's
sense,
just a protein requirement.
Right.
I mean, you can say, oh, well, so maybe some tribes did it for rituals or something like that. Yeah, that has happened, but it's usually also where there aren't enough. There's enough agriculture to sustain livestock.
Right.
So if you can't raise and maintain livestock or a nice healthy protein source that would be animal based, and there's not enough agriculture to grow broccoli, which is or avocados, or if you're not in that climate belt, then you might have to end up taking down one of your enemies and getting down on a leg or something like that.
It's all about survival.
Your body and your brain tell you what you require.
Right.
So, and I know plenty of vegans that are healthy in certain aspects, but not in other aspects. How many fucking vegans do I know that drink alcohol? How many vegans do I know that smoke cigarettes?
One of the things that and this is not all vegans, and I'm not saying for all of you guys, but a few vegans I've known, they seem to have this belief that they can eat whatever they want vegan
as long
wise
as it's vegan.
And not get over, you know what I mean? It's like, no.
No.
Now, I did have a very high-end professional chef in my family make this for me, but I did try the Impossible Burger.
Yeah, you were saying that was bomb.
It was good, man. Like, I'm a meat eater, so, like, I don't think I would ever switch to it, but, like, it was really, really good. I would not have known.
Was it good on your stomach? Did you...
Yeah, I mean, it was fine.
Then that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It's nice to have these alternatives.
Yeah.
Now, if that burger takes way more resources and stuff to produce than just a natural, nice, fucking free-range beef burger, then what the fuck are we talking about?
Which happens a lot. A lot of times people think this is so much better, but they're missing out. Well, they're in the resources. It's exactly what it is.
What's going into that? And that's the big picture. There's always a big picture, okay? There's enough fertile land in the San Joaquin Valley down in California to produce at least a quarter of the world's nutritional needs.
Okay.
But we're not doing it. And there's a whole lot of things that go into that, mostly governmental laws and subsidies, and agricultural just bullshit that they're holding farmers up and people, to keep us from being able to, and then but they send water to other bullshit cattle farms or other fucking cashew, whatever it is. But if we took the right resources and put them in the right places, there is enough fertile land on the earth, let alone California, to feed the entire fucking globe done right. It's just not done right.
Right.
And there's so much bullshit fucking corruption that goes into that. So when people are like, well, we can't do this and we can't sustain this, or they're super hard, there's no resources, you're doing, or, it's like, you know what? If you look at the big picture and you actually know the facts, and you're not just emotional about something, but you look at it logically, you could actually fix a lot of shit.
Which I think that's the bulk of most arguments, is you get so emotional in it. I've probably said this on this podcast, but if you and I were in an argument, once I raise my voice, I've lost. You know what I mean? Like, you're not thinking. You know what I mean? Like, so, but yeah, people get incredibly emotional about it, and you know what I mean. Hopefully, someday we can get closer to a solution to solve some of these problems. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I hope so.
Well,
I mean, you can get it on Facebook and shout about it all you want, but they ain't doing shit. You know what I mean? I mean, maybe making people recognize
when you're shouting,
problem.
it really doesn't, because we're so tuned out on stuff. I mean, you see people doing these things and making crazy statements all the time, and now we just we throw up our buffers.
Right.
Oh, okay, somebody's fucking freaking out about this. Oh,
right, exactly.
Dude, okay, so I have a really good story real quick. I don't know if I ever told you or broke it down to you, but I had one of the worst, most awkward moments of my life right after the Trump election. First off, I didn't follow that election at all. I assumed Hillary was going to win.
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
Her regime was ready, man. Yeah. Fucking the Clinton regime dominated in the 90s, brought in horrible fucking drug laws, implemented tons of bullshit, sent tons of fucking sent a lot of our jobs out. Each regime does shit. So the Bushes were worse, or as bad or worse. But, I figured they were going to, just like we staggered the Bush regimes, figure we're going to stagger the Clinton regimes.
Yeah.
Same new boss, same shit. So when Trump won, literally I had no fucking clue.
You weren't watching.
I didn't give a shit. I don't, dude. New boss, same shit.
Right.
I don't give a fuck who the new boss is.
Right.
So Trump won, and it was like the next night or 2 nights after that. I mean, I'm literally like basically living under a rock, essentially. I'm non.
You didn't know for 2 days?
I didn't fucking know. It was just, I knew, but I didn't know or whatever. I can't remember. But I think it was the next day. I went to this, I got invited to a sensitivity seminar, or like class. It was called like a sensitivity class with this really beautiful woman who is a professor instructor at the U of O. And that's why I went, man. This woman's gorgeous.
Gotcha.
So we had met earlier in the year during, it was several months before that, at Morning Glory, a nice vegan option restaurant here in Eugene, pretty much one of the favorites of the vegans. And I like to eat there, but they serve eggs, and I had met her there, and we had bonded over tea, and then had tried to meet up and link up several times. Well, she does this sensitivity seminar, and that was one of the only times our schedule really aligned. So I was like, cool, I'm a sensitive guy.
Right. So
I'm going to go to this sensitivity seminar and fucking, try to work. I'm down to cry or do whatever. Hopefully,
So this is supposed to like pull out like.
I had no idea. Right. There was no like
you
fucking.
Just were like, she's hot.
She's hot. She invited me to this sensitivity seminar she's doing. It maybe an hour long or whatever. And fucking we'll mingle afterwards. Maybe, we'll go grab something to eat.
Sure.
Fucking dude, I'm down to show her, I'm
down to be sensitive.
I got a heart,
right?
So I show up to this thing. Turns out I'm the only guy, and there's like 13 women.
Oh shit!
And they're all bleeding heart liberals.
Ah.
And they're all super pissed.
Yeah, because you were the enemy.
That Trump won.
Oh, okay.
And I'm just like, who won? I don't even know.
Right. I'm just here to be sensitive.
First off, I'm independent.
Right.
I'm not left. I'm not right. I'm a motherfucker who thinks for himself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you ain't saying the right shit, I ain't on your train.
Yeah.
And if you could still be saying the same right shit, but if you don't do the right shit after you say the right shit, then I'm going to be like, fuck you.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and that happens every single goddamn time, except for Ron Paul, who I wrote in every single time I could. We missed the train on that shit. But so that's where my political base is coming from. And so I'm just sitting here with like women who are like on the verge of tears. We're like sitting, fucking all crisscross applesauce in this big like oval thing in this room in like downtown Eugene. And I'm just like, what the fuck am I doing here? And how long is this going to be? And then all of a sudden, they opened up the discussion of like, okay, well, let's just introduce you. You know, we'll go around and people introduce and why you're here and what, you know, your intentions are. And I'm like, I can't say that I'm here for pussy.
You're like, pussy. Who's here for pussy? You know, there's a couple girls that were in there for pussy too.
Yeah, probably. That was the crowd.
Right.
But it wasn't the right scene, you know, even those chicks would have fucking scalped me.
Right.
So I was just like, I'm here just to, I was like, I like wanted to apologize. And I'm like, why the fuck am I apologizing to this group of
Right.
women for having a male genitalia?
Right.
I have a heart, dude. I'm a sensitive guy. I'm sorry, I'm logical, and I'm not freaking out that the new boss is a fucking dude. You know, the old boss was a piece of shit too, but just because he was fucking, you know, semi-black or whatever, what, you were all on board and shit? Get the fuck out of my face is what I wanted to say. But at the same time, I was trying to be empathetic and understand where they were coming from, because I understand for people in that state, it was horrible. And they were worried that he was going to come out and grab their pussy or make laws that grabbing snatches is fucking cool now. It's not cool, dude.
Right.
I mean, come on. The world ain't going to come to an end. Yes, there's an ignorant dude of fucking, you know, as the puppet, but the fucking regime has been fucked for a long time. So wake the fuck up. And that's more or less where I was coming from. I was more pissed that there was no women in there besides me that were kind of on that shit, except for the woman who was giving the class, the beautiful lady. She wrote a book about neoliberalism, which is just going way over the fucking, but that's why I liked her, man.
Right.
I thought she was on board with it.
Right.
I didn't think I was gonna be stepping into a goddamn motherfucking femfest, like, you know, oh shit, I got a dick. Oh shit.
You walk in and it's like, oh fuck.
Dude, they were burning holes in me, bro.
Wow.
So one of those things where I'm just like, I could not be in a more awkward place.
Yeah.
Like,
Did you stay the whole time?
I stayed the whole time. And because I wasn't, you know, I wanted to show that, like, yeah, I mean, I'm like, I was uncomfortable. I said I was uncomfortable.
Right.
I was like, I didn't even know about the election. I'm uncomfortable now because y'all are uncomfortable.
Right.
And I know y'all are uncomfortable because I'm uncomfortable and shit. So we uncomfortable together.
So the question is did you have dinner?
No, dude. I was like, God damn it, man. That's what you get. That's what I got. That's what I got for having the wrong intentions. But I should have just declared. I mean, I tried to declare. I wasn't being sneaky. I wasn't like, oh, I'm a fucking sensitive dude. That's all I care about. I was like, I told her we're down to go out to tea or go grab something. And then she just, you know, since that was the one time that we had that interaction, and she invited me to other stuff afterwards, but I was just kind of put off by it.
Yeah, you never know if you're gonna get lambasted. You know what I mean? So,
dog, and you know, and I did, you know, I work by energy.
Yeah.
You get a chance to hang out with somebody and you get to, like, you know, share your energy and pick up. That's why my prereqs are, when I meet a new woman, do you like South Park? Do you smoke weed?
Right.
Do you watch Always Sunny in Philadelphia? I mean, those three topics, questions.
You get a business card that just says that on it.
I maybe, but I like to be able to audible because I want to be able to fucking, you know, and I mix those up. Are you cool with weed? You know what I'm saying? Are you cannabis friendly? Whatever. You ever kick it with Mary Jane? However, I'll ask, you know, like what, how open-minded are you? Then also, you know, what do you like for entertainment? How fucking twisted are you? How real are you? You know what I'm saying? I mean, by twisted, I mean, like, how much can you fucking enjoy yourself?
Right. Sure.
And still keep it real. Because that's important to me.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it sucks. Like, I remember when I was, you know, dating before I got married, you know, I'd meet this girl and I'd be way into her, and there'd be like one weird thing, like, I don't, you know what I mean, just stood out. That's like, you kind of have to be like, I don't know if I can get over that.
And for me, a lot of that time is like when they're vegan.
Sure.
And I'm like, okay, what's the intentions behind that? Is this just like a pretentious thing because you want to be in the vegan group and your fucking girlfriend, your girlfriends have septum rings and you're all fucking tied together and you're fucking all on this, or is it like because that's just better for your body? Does it work better for your body as you have it dialed in? What I always, you know, I'm never just like,
you've got a legit reason, like, you know, because one of my things was always any form of addiction, like, you know what I mean? Whether it's, you know, because I clearly had a food addiction. You know what I mean? And it was always a turn off. Usually things that reflect in yourself are a turn off to you anyway. But like, you know, some form of addiction that they are just not even open to considering breaking is a pretty big turn off.
And if they don't think about what they do, and because I'm so analytical, I kind of think about every single thing I do, you know, why I do it. I always have had to since I figured out how to live, because when I don't think about shit is when I get in trouble, you
Yeah.
know, or when I'm like, I don't keep myself in check because my brain is a fucking powerful machine and it'll work in all sorts of ways.
Yeah. You know, when I was first, like I said, you know, in high school, like I said, you know, dating, I had some weird fucking dates, man. Like I said, you know what I mean? I'd be into this chick that I like. I was really into photography. So I used to like, it was a good way to meet women, girls, I guess, back then. You know what I mean? Hey, let me take pictures of you.
I'm artistic.
Right, exactly.
Oh, let me take, yeah, dog.
You know,
Especially before we had camera phones and
right.
shit.
Yeah, because like legit had a camera and everything. But you know, it was weird. Like I said, like I'd be in, like everything would be cool, and then to be like that one day, and you were like, wait a minute, what did you just say? Like, or like just weird. You know what I mean? Like, or some girl would tell me some weird ass story. I remember some girl told me that she used to, when she was younger, would take her like a doll and like nail it to the wall and like grind her vagina on it. And I was just like sort of intrigued, but I was at the same time like,
some girls have no game at like,
yeah, it's weird to
hitting
me.
on you or opening the
like,
door towards sex.
Exactly. It's like,
so I'll rub my minge
think about what you're saying.
on dolls on a wall.
Right.
Well, I'm not even, I got a dick on my lap.
Right.
I mean, that's better.
Yeah.
So, but that's probably what she was trying to, she was probably,
in some weird way trying to, but it was just like,
bro,
so weird
I
to me.
fucked up so many times young. I didn't give a shit about women when I was young. As far as like, I didn't really pursue them. I mean, I loved them. I always loved a nice booty. I've always been attracted to beautiful women. I mean, I've always had kind of high standards and stuff. And I had some really gorgeous girlfriends growing up, but probably better looking than I should have had. But I missed out the opportunity. I remember the first time I ever felt a juicy pussy, like when I went down and I slid my hands down and she was wearing a thong, but I was down the front. And I remember how wet this girl was. We were making out at lunchtime. I lived like fucking 2 blocks from the high school, right? We're making out at lunchtime, it's freshman year, and this girl is so sexy, so juicy. And it scared me.
Right.
I didn't know if she like, I didn't know, you know,
What is
like
this?
she wanted to fuck right now.
Right.
And if I would have known that, I would have went and fucked her.
But you just didn't
But I
know.
didn't know.
Right.
And I was like, man, I think something's wrong with her. Like, it was like, you know, I didn't know
Right,
what
right.
that smell was, you know, it was all new.
Right.
I had never, so that's how stupid and ignorant I was. And then I like stopped pursuing her fucking, because I hate it. Okay. So I remember why I broke up with that girl at 15 years old. I remember she used to call, she really liked me because of my personality.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she was gorgeous, drop dead gorgeous, was like captain of the cheerleading squad, smoking hot, little Native American, half Native American to her. Oh my God. And I didn't really have, I mean, I was just getting into shape. I just like figured shit out, but I was funny. I had a good personality. I had lots of
goes
cool,
a long way.
I was
Yeah.
popular, dude, you know.
Right.
But I remember making her laugh. She had such a great laugh and shit. And she was just a beautiful, vibrant girl, but she just dug my personality. And I never really knew how clutch that was.
Yeah.
And if you get a girl who really digs you for your personality, hold on to that one, man. That's the shit.
Yeah,
That's the shit. So, yeah, I remember just thinking like, you know, she's so fucking hot. All I want to do is just make out with her and shit. You know, I didn't ever think that she would really want to have sex with me and stuff. I just thought that she liked hanging out with me because I was funny and stuff. And then for some reason I ended up like fucking trying to hook up with like my neighbor who also had a super sexy booty and, you know, told me she liked me and shit. But I remember the girl that was super hot. The reason I dropped her was she would call me up and want to hear me talk.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would like, you know, I'm all down to have a conversation. Totally down to have a conversation. Obviously, we having a conversation right now. I love this shit. But if you're going to call me up and expect me to say, well, blah, 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 you know, and just like whatever. And I got to instigate every bit of that conversation. It gets old.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm like, I got to entertain you. I mean, that's kind of what it feels like. Even to today, you know, I'm very picky about who the fuck even really has long conversations on the phone anymore, unless it's like best friends or family.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of talking on the phone in general.
Oh, dude, you and me. I mean, with you, I know when you're ready to dip off because you're like, all right, goodbye, peace. You will like literally cut off a goddamn.
It's called the Carlton cutoff.
You do love to talk. I mean, you're down to get a quick conversation in.
Yeah,
bro. This is what's going on. Blah 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 blah.
People will just kind of keep on going, or like just reword. Like we just figured out something, and they'll just and I'm always like, cool,
set, beep.
Yeah.
Which I get with you, which is totally cool because I can talk too. But with you and me, it's always just pretty much the notes of what we got to hit, and then we talk when we see each other.
Right.
So if you're gonna hit me up, you better have something to fucking say.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And don't be bitching about this, that, or the other thing too. That's another thing I hate. I hate when people complain.
Sure.
I don't dig if you're gonna call me up and just start bitching about shit. If you're gonna text me and just be like, this sucks, and this other shit is horrible. You know. Obviously, nobody really likes negativity.
That's a huge pet peeve of mine. I cannot stand it when people
I can't, dude. And it's really hard for people that don't know that they're being negative.
Yeah.
I'll be like, because I'm a fixer. The reason I don't like that is because I want to help somebody feel better.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, well, how my brain starts going analyzing, well, how can we fix this? What's up with, okay, well, that sounds dysfunctional. Yeah. This sounds fellow. Okay. So,
and do you ever notice that sometimes when you offer advice, if it's not what they're wanting to hear, it doesn't matter.
It just, bro, totally. Yeah. And we had a conversation about that, and somebody I said something to, and then instant karma or whatever was like, snap. Yeah. And you're just like, oh shit. But yeah, I mean, there's that. It really does. That's when I feel invalid. I feel, or not like they don't respect what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. So why the fuck are we even talking?
Right.
Oh, we're talking so you can hear yourself talk. Yeah. We were talking so you can fucking make yourself feel important or whatever it is. And I mean, I'm down to validate people and stuff, but not that way.
Yeah.
Not if you're gonna show me a lack of respect in turn.
Right. I remember, it's funny you brought that up because it's always been a pet peeve of mine. There used to be this guy that worked at the shop with me, and I don't think he realized he did it, but he would come in like flies were falling off of him. He would literally just, the way his posture was, and he would just be like, he would just do that all the time, and like had an awesome job, like was busy, and I was like, what's up, bro? Oh, I'm just tired. Whatever
bummed.
It was.
He's just bummed.
One day it was just me and him at the shop, and I was like, dude, go the fuck home. I cannot fucking be around. And he was like, what?
What, bro?
What do you mean? And I'm like, I can't even fucking stand.
You're over here huffing and puffing, dog.
It's like you're fucking dying, you know what I mean? And he like didn't even realize it, you know what I mean? And I don't know. It's just a thing for me. And like the people that just fucking complain all the time, and it's like, fucking fix yourself, you know what I mean? Like go for a walk, talk about it, whatever the fuck is going on. God damn it, you know what I mean?
Dude, if you just chronically complain,
God,
you know, I'm down to get,
shit's fucked up in places. Like we can have conversations, but don't come into my shop and fucking breathe heavy like that. Yeah,
we all have homies too,
God
or
damn.
friends, or whoever we know, who kind of just, you'll hear them sigh.
Yeah.
To exhale really deeply, and you're like,
if you're not a 14-year-old girl going through shit, I don't want to hear that. You know what I mean?
Pretty much, man.
You know, when you got hormone balances going on, like my daughter's funny because she's 14, and she is like, I know I have a great life and everything's wonderful, but I just want to scream. I'm like, well, that's normal for you,
dude.
That's exactly where you're supposed to be.
That is.
But when you're like, 30 years old and supposed to be drawing, and instead you're complaining about the tattoo artist down the street charging less than you or whatever. Fuck you.
Yeah, dude, I totally know. I feel you 100%, man. We're on the same page. We have like the same pet peeves with shit. That's why we vibe.
Right. When I was not cutting off your conversation, right?
No,
when I was in Arizona, my sister doesn't like to go out much, and we really wanted to get her out and stuff. So we took her to the movie. She hadn't been to the movies in forever, and I saw the new Jurassic Park.
How was that?
I liked it, man. I mean, to me, with the very first Jurassic Park, I was blown away. Like when that came out at the time, at the right time in my life, you kind of got to go in and know what it's going to be. It's another one of those. But honestly, they did a good job.
Dude, that first scene in the first Jurassic Park with the raptor.
Oh, yeah.
That scene, dude, it sets the tone for that whole movie. Because people are like, oh, the first Jurassic Park, that thing was... It's like, yeah, dude, do you not remember how intense that started?
Yeah. You have to remember that for the time it came out, it was really intense. It was really different. It was unique. That's why, now, however many they got... I just fully went in expecting it to be, and it wasn't amazing or terrible. It was good, but it's worth seeing in the theater or like on your TV. You know what I mean? Like,
dude, I like that last one. So the Jurassic, whatever it was before that.
Yeah, I think it's on the same par.
It was
Yeah.
dope because I like Chris Pratt. He's a cool dude.
He kind of steals it, and he steals the movie.
Oh yeah. And then that redheaded chick that they used.
Yeah.
Shit, man, she's such a goddamn milf.
Yeah, yeah, she's pretty awesome.
I've liked her ever since The Village. She was so good
Yeah.
as Ivy in The Village.
Yeah.
I mean, that blind girl. Fuck.
You know, when I saw The Village, I kind of figured it out sort of early. It was more like, wouldn't it be weird if at the end they were not, you know, it was a different time? Like, I kind of guessed it. It was weird, which kind of took me out of the element. I thought it was cool. I was always a fan of his films. I know he got a real bad rap after a while. But honestly, most of his stuff, I got to be honest.
Even if he just did The Village,
Yeah.
I would be a huge fan.
Yeah.
That movie was so fucking... I didn't know until the end.
Right.
I
And
mean-
that would have made it a lot better for me. I'm not even saying like I guessed it. I just somehow...
Bro, you are aware.
Sure.
You were seeing brainwashing going on.
I didn't see Lady in the Water though. Did you see that one?
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, see, Nikki saw it. My wife saw it, and she says it's really good.
Fuck
You know?
yeah. Well, I remember the reason that The Village was so good and why I liked it so much was it was a fucking perfect map for how to brainwash people.
Absolutely.
And that's what we talk about all the time.
Yeah.
When you're being told religion is this,
Yeah.
be afraid of this, the devil, the Jesus, God, you know,
Yeah.
this is how and the earth was created. That's brainwashing to 100%. So
Isn't it weird how you think about like all the shit that you believe? I'm not saying that the earth is flat or anything, but just in general, I'm saying we're just told shit. You know what I mean? And like, it's kind of crazy sometimes. Like you talk, you know, to God, and we can go deep on that. But, you know, I was having a conversation with Sean King on the long drive home from Seattle about that. And he's like, it's just weird. You're just told this. So depending on how you were raised, if you're raised heavily religious, or this is how people get into cults, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're just told this from day one. And that's why a lot of people that are, that were raised religious, they become hardcore atheists and they're mad. Because they, you know, when they start realizing their own thing, that's why atheists tend to really lash out.
Well,
because they've been, you know, in their brain, they've been lied to.
I know a lot of
You know what I
people, they switch back and forth from atheism to agnostic.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, first off, it's hard not to feel like there is a force because there is a force.
Yeah. You know, and yeah, like, you know, and I'm not going to sit here and be like most women and how they're like, I believe in something spiritual. I definitely do believe there's something, of course, there's something bigger than you and I. What is it? I don't.
Mother Earth.
I don't
Mother
know.
Earth. First off,
that's what I do. Is I kind of
she's
look at
my
it as
goddess.
Earth. Exactly.
I worship the Earth.
Yes.
So
like, you know, clearly there's something bigger than us. Clearly, I don't think we're alone in this entire vast universe. I highly doubt that we're the only living beings. But
oh, dude, we're not. I was listening to Rogan's podcast. He was breaking down to Theo Vaughn the theory and the facts behind the idea of infinity.
Yeah.
So the universe is infinite.
Right. Which is so hard to even wrap your brain around.
Well, it is, but you can wrap it around in terms, and this is how the terms break down. The universe is so large that there is for sure somewhere else where humans exist,
Right.
just like they exist now here.
Yeah, how could
on
there
Earth.
not be? Exactly.
And not only that, there is definitely another Joshua Carlton out there in the universe. And not only that, that Joshua Carlton has lived the exact same life that you have lived in every form down to that pause.
Yeah.
So
see, that's mind blowing.
Not only that, but that has happened infinite times
and will continue.
So that's the idea of infinity.
Fuck.
It's infinity on infinity on infinity. So that's what it.
So with that said, then there's another Sean McCoy out there that has your exact life except one little thing.
Yes. So that every variation of that,
so
every single variation of anything that could possibly
he doesn't
happen.
have allergies.
What a fucking lucky cocksucker, dude. I'm so pissed, man.
There's a Josh out there that loves it when people sigh.
Well, he's probably not that cool.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's probably out there fucking sighing.
There's a Josh out there that was like, you know what's missing in my life, Sean? Diabetes.
Yeah,
you know,
dog.
I'm gonna get that shit. You know,
there's somebody still with a fucking blinding headache.
Right.
God damn, 43 is a motherfucker.
It is crazy though, because that means like that there's people out there that are wondering about us. They're wondering about this universe that we're talking about that's going on.
There's people that are talking about us just like that.
Exactly.
Right now.
That's fucking, you know what I mean? It's crazy.
It is.
Yeah.
But it's dope to wrap your brain around,
Yeah.
or at least try to. Whether or not that's true or not, I feel like it is because I've done hallucinogens that have told me basically I think that's what's happening.
Sure. I think it's cool that we live in a time where, like, in our lifetime, we could get closer to understanding some of these answers. Like, I'm a pretty big tech nerd, and as you know, I like drones. And when I was we were driving into Seattle for this tour, and fucking right over my head, a fucking drone flies above me with a dude flying inside of it. The new Google drone, which I've only seen. It blew my mind. Like, it was about the size of a car.
What?
Low, like
my fucking Jetsons and shit.
Yeah, just like that, right over the power line, silent.
What?
And I was like, oh shit, what drone? Because I'm so familiar with drones. I'm like, what drone is that? Because from a distance, it looked like it could be a
big
drone.
Yeah.
But I was like, fuck, that's big. And then it flew right over the car. I could see the markings on it, and I could see there's a dude flying in it. And I was like, oh yeah, Google just released a drone.
I didn't even know that, dog.
Yeah.
So we are in the Jetsons age, or getting there, and I didn't even know, man.
It's in our life within the next 10 years. I guarantee you'll be seeing them,
dude. So that's technological. That's like technology that we're interfacing with, but they're advancing so much stuff on the genetics and molecular level, manipulating DNA, and they're doing so much stuff. I was listening to Rogan's podcast, and he was talking about when he had Steven Tyler on his Steven Tyler, lead singer of Aerosmith. Fucking his dad's like 100 years old now. But when he was 91, his like back was fucked up, couldn't really walk or anything. They got him on a bunch of stem cell treatments, and now he's 100 years old and he's walking around like a goddamn champ, and he's active and he's fucking healed, and he's like feeling better than he has in 20, 30 years.
Wow.
At 100 years old, bro. But that's just what it takes. It takes being able to go and utilize these fucking treatments that are happening. They're available. I mean, fucking, if you have the money, if you're an athlete, you can go do this shit, man.
So that's what I mean. Like we live in that lifetime. So like, I mean, imagine. Okay, so what iPhone's 11 years old? Seems like it's been in our life forever. I think it's 10 or 11 years old. It's not that old.
Yeah.
So I mean, imagine. Look at him now. Imagine when we.
It's funny you just chimed in just to say what's up, dog.
Imagine when what's coming next. You know what I mean? Imagine. Like I can't even. I mean, so let's just say 10 more years, right? I just saw a drone fly. 10 years in technology terms,
dude.
Holy fuck,
dude.
You know what I mean? Like we're gonna see some shit.
Yeah, bro. I got porn and fucking podcasts and everything on my goddamn phone right now.
You have everything you could ever want. Like, whenever my kids need anything, it's like, I'll be sneaky about it. Like I'm super smart, Dad. Dad, what's this math? And I'm like, hey Siri, what's you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But it's everything you could ever want, everything you could ever need. You know what I mean? As I went through all my health stuff, that was my go-to. I'd lay in bed and just research.
Isn't that what's dope? I mean,
it's amazing, and it was able to teach me so many things. And I was having a conversation with my doctor where I didn't want to be self-diagnosing. So what I said, well, I looked it up, and I figured he'd say, well, we don't like people. And he said, well, Google knows a lot more than I do.
It's true.
You know what I mean? And I was like,
true.
I love my doctor, by the way.
Fuck yeah.
Nandi, she rock, by the way. But anyway, it's just, I don't know. It's kind of mind blowing. And if that's where we're at now, like I'm down to see where we go.
As long as we make it there.
And that's my next thing I was going to say. If it doesn't all fucking end before then, because 10 years might not even fucking come. So we'll see what happens. Now, I was kind of joking about the Carlton curse. I was like, just my fucking luck.
You just got healthy.
Get healthy. Kill diabetes.
Bro,
fucking boom.
Motherfucker shot at me 6 times, and I'm like, just a few months ago, and I'm like, sweet, on my body, I'm whole. Oh shit, nice. Oh sweet, all right, now I can go hit the gym.
Yeah, like what? I mean, you haven't really talked about that, but you know what I mean. Now that you've said it, Sean has had an incident where he was shot at 6 times,
6 bullets, dodged him.
Is incredibly lucky to be here. Well, I mean, I couldn't even imagine the next day waking up and being like, fuck, you know what I mean? Like, that had to be intense. You know what I mean? I've never experienced anything like that. I've fallen off my bike. You know what I mean? But
the whole month was intense after you get any type of life scare.
Yeah.
Anytime somebody threatens your life or something happens where you're like, oh, I could have died.
Yeah.
You take a time, that was an emotional one too, because the motherfucker, I'm not going to get into the details too much, but 2 dudes tried to rob me.
Yeah, we're not talking like we're talking shot at you from like 8 feet.
Yeah, from
15 feet tops.
Yeah, exactly. I mean? But I got to smash one of them with a frying pan.
Right.
And I didn't get hit.
Right.
I didn't get hit by any bullets.
But in some universe, Sean did.
And that's that's heavy.
Yeah.
That is so heavy. And I've thought about that since then. I thought about that last night. At some point, dude, it was way too close for comfort.
Yeah.
So with that said, I'm happy and blessed. I'm so grateful to be here and be alive, and I'm in the best shape of my life.
Yeah.
You know, and that's such an amazing feeling to be able to go, okay, now I get to go to the gym and I get to hoop with a bunch of savage ballers.
Right.
Dudes who are going to college or in college right now playing ball. Well, it's summertime, so they're not playing ball right now, but they have scholarships, and I'm out there and I'm fucking dominant with them. Competing at this high level. And then I get to go do my yoga, and I get to do fucking core work. And then I get to come, go stretch. And then I get to go to the market and mingle with people, go home, play with my dogs, take a shower, eat amazing food, hang out with you, do fucking whatever I want. I'm still living life, man. Yeah, I'm still in this motherfucker.
Yeah. I would hope that after the initial, like, just motherfucking shock of it, that would be the next step, would be to embrace.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know when somebody's sick and they don't have it anymore, if they get falsely, diagnosed, I feel like you would have like a little bit of a new lease on life. You know what I mean? Like I said, you've always been into health since I've known you and stuff, but you definitely are more focused now, than ever.
I'm so grateful.
Yeah. Yeah. Grateful to be able to take a breath. I'll do that sometimes with, if I feel any kind of anxiety or depression, speaking of taking a breath, I'll just be like, right now, my kid, she's breathing. Not everybody gets that, you know what I mean? And that helps me kind of put things into perspective. And you know what I mean? My friend is breathing, you know what I mean? And I'm thankful for that every day myself. I mean, I can't imagine what that must have been like. I hope I don't ever experience it, but I'm glad you fucking made it through, bro. You know what I mean?
Word.
Crazy.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things where it does give you just that appreciation, man. Yeah. And if you don't reevaluate life on a daily basis, let alone when something like that happens,
right.
If you're not always kind of, at least it's nice to be once a day, just to be grateful.
Yeah.
No matter where you're at, just be grateful for something. And that's a huge part of actually enjoying life. When you can flip something into a positive.
Yeah.
And especially if you're feeling negative and just go, fuck, man, I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for having hot water. There's so many people that don't have clean water in the world.
I think it's so easy for people like the guy that was sighing all the time. They're just living in victimhood.
Yeah.
And that I don't think they really realize it. And it almost sounds cheesy to them to be like, be positive, man. And they're just like, fuck, you know what I mean? Like, why be positive when this is going on? But it's like, man, like, you're here and you're fucking not in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And if you are in a wheelchair, then you're not in a fucking coma. You know what I mean? Like,
are you in some impoverished country? Are you some fucking, oppressed person? Are you some fucking talented artist, white male in one of the more privileged cultures, or at least more advantaged cultures on the globe right now? We all, every country has its own system of fucking controls and laws.
Right.
Or levels of oppression or control over its citizens. So each country has a certain level of power and control.
Right.
And some are way worse. I mean,
way worse. Yeah.
North Korea, I knew about North Korea since 2005. I was on that fucking tip well before any of the other motherfuckers were. North Korea was on anybody's page because we were in the foreign occupation since late 2001, 2002.
Yeah.
But we got the towers got in 2001, and then we were fucking on the war on terror and in Afghanistan, then on Iraq. And I'm like, okay, I get the whole going after weapons of mass destruction. I get going after fucking real evil dudes. But the most evil dude on the planet that we know of, a real Nazi type motherfucker, was Kim Jong-il.
Right.
And I mean, I love that South Park, that Matt and Trey made that movie Team America World Police in 2004, ripping on him being the most evil motherfucker in the world, orchestrating all the fucking terrorism that actually was going on in America, going around trying to police shit, fucking, it was so perfect because that was really what was going on. I mean, you have us over here grabbing up resources from fucking resource-rich countries, and that's what was really going on, while the actual heinous, horrible, evil motherfucking entity known as Kim Jong-il and his regime were dominating in North Korea, and we could have went in there and took him out at any fucking point, dude. It's just they didn't have the resources. They had nothing attractive to us, so we said, we're just going to turn that into a black fucking hole. Media wise, nothing comes out of there. No cameras, no pictures, nothing comes out. Then we don't have to pay attention to it. And that's how that existed for almost 3 years until Lisa Ling went in and exposed for National Geographic, did this huge fucking documentary. And this shit is corrupt as fuck the way this all unfolded. And people, I mean, you can go back and look at it. So Lisa Ling snuck into North Korea under the guise of documenting with an optometrist, an eye surgeon who goes around to third world countries, to really fucking impoverished third world countries. Third world country just means not fucking capitalistic, not communistic. So anything other than that, but really poor countries. And he did training on, he would teach other doctors how to do cataract surgery, because in the countries with horrible nutrition fucking levels, you get high levels of cataracts, and it's a really easy fucking thing to fix, but it affects every bit of the people's lives because they're blind essentially.
Right.
So this guy goes in and teaches doctors how to do cataract surgeries, and then he'll do them, and then he teaches them, and they do them after he leaves. So really sweet, human fucking thing to do. It's really humane. Well, he was down to be a part of this fucking movement to go in and document how fucked up North Korea really is. And that was what the main purpose of going there was, beyond teaching these North Korean doctors how to do cataract surgery on their own people. They wanted to film how fucked up in the real life in North Korea. So Lisa Ling and this photographer and this optometrist were cleared to come in. Lisa Ling was the only American, and the video guy, the video cameraman, thank you, were the only Americans allowed to be in North Korea for a long fucking time before that, man. I mean, it was
were they escorted around?
And shit. Oh yeah, they had minders. So that's what, and every bit of their trip was 100% fucking monitored, controlled. They tried to show her, only the positive aspects, but you saw how crazy the fucking people were brainwashed. I mean, every bit of life is 100% controlled and manipulated and propagandized there to make it look like it's a nice, functional, healthy society. It's not. It's 100%.
They're all told that America is the absolute.
And so what they did, and they even changed it, because in the first original showing, they did even a nursery rhyme. So they fucking had these children, and they translated this nursery rhyme, and it's like, let the blood flow of the Americans in the gutters and all this.
Wow.
It was so crazy. Since then they took that fucking original, after they aired that, I watched it and I was like, oh my God, finally, yes, they finally showed North Korea at its like what it's really like. Well, they took that off and it wasn't available anywhere. It wasn't online or anything. Then they changed it. They took that fucking nursery rhyme out of there.
Wow.
So they edited that after a while, but in the interim, Lisa Ling's sister got kidnapped.
Really?
Apparently they said she was in fucking trying to sneak into North Korea. What happened was, when Lisa Ling did the documentary for Nat Geo, Kim Jong-il put out a fucking hit or a contract on her and her family. Dude, we're talking about a world dictator. The guy controls the lives of tens of millions of people. He was the biggest importer of Hennessy in the world. The guy is a player. He is a power. His son's a power player. I mean, you fucking see the motherfucker on. He has an army, dude. He's got nukes. He's got power.
Yeah.
So when Kim Jong-il goes, I want her and her family. Her sister was in China, but the fucking whoever it was went over, black bagged her, snuck her across the border, took her into North Korea, and then they held her prisoner. And that was international news. Bill Clinton then went over and talked to Kim Jong-il while he was still alive and said, however that broke down, and I only saw one picture of Clinton and Kim Jong-il together, and they were about a fucking hallway apart from each other. Right. It's shit. But I can imagine, and this is probably how it went. You don't want us fucking looking at you right now. Oh, I know, Lisa Ling, that stupid reporter fucking put you on blast. You're pretty crazy. But we aren't interested in you. Right. You really want the fucking world's eye on you yet? You want us to have to come fuck with you? Just give us back the girl.
Right.
And he did.
Wow.
And so she got to come back to America. And you can bet the fucking Ling family ain't going nowhere near the border of North Korea. They're smart if they don't ever go back to fucking Asia.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, motherfucking just like Marcellus Wallace.
Right.
If this motherfucker pops up in Indochina, I want a motherfucker ready to pop up out of a bowl of rice and put a cap in his ass.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how you don't fuck with motherfuckers with power, especially dudes who will get down.
Especially that kind of thing. That's
what I'm saying. It doesn't matter, man. You don't fuck. I'm just a humble dude. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have crazy energy anymore. I'm not a dude who is destructive or anything. but you don't tread on me.
Right.
You know, and that's what those dudes who tried to tread on me found out,
Right.
as others have. And certain people will take shit to a next level. Well, that Kim Jong-il fam, obviously they take shit to the highest level. They got a whole country that they brainwashed and fucking controlled for fucking over 80 years now.
I remember when he died, it was like if you basically were caught not
crying
for like weeks,
Yes.
you know.
And if you try to escape North Korea, they intern 3 generations of your family. So it's not just it's
holy shit.
kids, parents, grandparents. That's how fucked up it is. I mean, it's so evil. And the fact that we talk about now North Korea is hot on the radar. It's 2018. At 2008, shit wasn't hot on the radar, and it should have been.
Right.
It should have been, because it was just as bad then, if not worse.
Isn't there even like a fake town?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like
and then they also, North Korea worked with Russia and China. They're all evil as fuck. But I remember when Shane Smith went up in Siberia, and he went way the fuck bumfuck Siberia. I mean, that's everywhere, Siberia. But he had to ride way the fuck out nowhere. And he got to a camp, and it was a logging camp, but it was North Korean writing everywhere, and it was North Korean fucking building styles. And they're in the middle of Siberia, and he's like, this is fucking crazy. I heard, that's what he was there to find.
Right.
But they have it on camera and shit. And it was North Korean logging camps. They were logging the Siberian fucking tundra. North Korean slave workers went up there, not getting paid.
Right.
Apparently what they would get paid or whatever was sent it back to their families back. So they're up there fucking working in Russia for nothing, in fucking camps that are imitating North Korean fucking, but they're not North Korea, dude. And as soon as Shane showed up with the cameramen, the fucking minders were there, and then the fucking overseers, and then the dudes that ran the camp, and they're like, what are you doing here? Who the fuck are you? And I'm just curious about this. And you should watch that, because the story of how he had to get fucking out of Dodge right now, because they were calling, the fucking North Koreans were calling the Russians like, what the fuck is going on? We have cameras up here. This is not, you better. And they were like, oh shit, we're going to come get them. So Shane Smith had to fucking, because he always has guides, and I can't remember what fixers. They call fixers.
Right. Okay.
Every time, anytime Anthony Bourdain would go someplace, he'd have a fixer. Anytime Shane Smith's in an area, he goes and he approaches the people who get shit done. All right. All the people, all the gangsters, all the motherfucking power players, the mayor, whoever it is that runs the show, who runs the town, who runs the area. You get in touch with them and you get clearance to be able to do what you got to do. Otherwise, you ain't operating.
Right.
And you don't want to be on the wrong side of the fucking scene. So that's what he did. He had this motherfucking group of Russian gangsters as his security. Shane Smith did. And as soon as there was a face-off between the fucking troops, the dudes who ran the camp, and the fucking gangsters, and the gangsters had their shotgun, this guy named The Fish, and a whole fucking Adidas jumpsuit, quintessential motherfucking Russian gangster.
Him to look like.
Total, with a shotgun. And he's just, the Fish ain't taking no shit from these motherfuckers. And that's why Shane had enough time to get smuggled out. He literally had to smuggle him. They had to smuggle him out on a 4-wheel drive road. They had to drive over 24 hours in fucking back wilderness shit on a 4-wheel drive. They had to the story is epic. But he ended up getting smuggled through a mall that joins Russia and China.
Fuck.
Dude, and North Korea is no joke.
Right.
I mean, and that's what I'm saying. I love fucking Shane Smith, and I love Vice for doing that fucking stuff, for going.
Vice can go hard fucking core sometimes.
Dude, they do.
Man.
That's the best shit.
Yeah.
There's stuff that's not on HBO, the shit that's not on Viceland, the stuff that's on fucking Vice.com that they did original stuff, because I mean they were throwing balls to the wall.
I don't know if I may have talked about this before, but do you know like a lot of the shows, a lot of the HBO Vice stuff, the music is ours?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, a lot of that. We got a contract with Vice.
Fuck
they use it. So like next time you notice just like some ambient background, a lot of times that's my band.
I was listening to something and I was telling my brother, we were watching World Cup, and I was like, hear that music? That sounds like some shit Carlton did. And he was like, it doesn't. And I was like, I know, man. That's what he does, man. Fucking McDonald's in China just like swooped up one of their songs.
The funny thing is that you made it when like the crowd knows your shit, and like so since the McDonald's thing, this was the first tour since McDonald's, and I'm the one, like, so like it's real quiet, and I hit that first note from the McDonald's commercial, and everybody's like, woo. It's like all these people that never heard of us. I'm like, you saw a McDonald's commercial, didn't you?
You fat fucks.
Right, exactly. But when you mentioned Bourdain, that one hit me pretty good.
Dude,
You know
I loved him, and
Yeah.
his production company was so good.
Yeah.
Man. And same deal. Like that's with Shane Smith, Anthony Bourdain, same
Yeah.
fucking level.
Yeah.
I mean, taking you to the heart of places, showing you the real people, showing you fucking.
Yeah. Did you see? Getting into some kind of conspiracy stuff, but like, I don't know, like a couple of weeks or even a month prior to this, the tweet where he said that he met the Clintons' fixers.
I did.
Yeah, you can still look it up, and he's like, I wouldn't want to get tangled up with those people.
God damn it!
This is a real tweet.
I believe it, dude.
A real tweet that he put out, and then he committed suicide.
I mentioned to you.
So,
we
saying,
talked about what our first
you know,
or second podcast, something about Clintons and suicides.
Yeah, it's just interesting because his girlfriend was one of the people his wife. I'm sorry, was one of the people for the really went after Weinstein. Yeah. And so I don't know. It's just interesting. Oh, and his fixers are the same as the Clintons. They use the same exact people. So it's just what you were talking about. And he was like, it was something along the lines of, I'm definitely misquoting, but it's something along the lines of, had the unfortunateness of meeting the Clintons fixers today, not somebody you want to get involved with.
It's not.
And then suicide.
I believe
I'm just saying.
So in our last podcast, episode 4, I talked about getting emotional. It wasn't about Rob Thomas's fucking videos.
Sure.
It had nothing to do with Matchbox 20. When I watched Matchbox 20, I immediately rolled into some Soundgarden videos.
Right.
And anytime there's something with, so Chester Bennington and Chris Cornell, like both apparently committed suicide.
Right.
Within like a month of each other. Best friends.
I don't know if I mentioned this before, I knew Chester personally.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he worked at a tattoo shop that I used to work in. So I actually knew Chester before Linkin Park. He was in a band called Grey Day. So I actually have some knowledge of what kind of person Chester was.
And I know he evolved as a human too.
Absolutely,
because it sounded like, from everything I heard about him, he had been through some traumatic fucking abuse as a child, sexual abuse. And Chris Cornell, I mean, I just love Cornell. That guy hits these chords in me, and it's so I'm super emotional a lot of times whenever I think about him, or especially if I watch videos about him and stuff. It fucks me up, man, because I feel like he was suicided. I might be wrong. It's just personal to me, and I'm still working through my own emotions with it. I'm still working it over in my head.
Because when somebody
but the story doesn't work out, the mainstream story.
It's easy to say when somebody that means something to you passes away. I know I've had some people that I've known very closely commit suicide, and your brain does this weird thing where it's like, no, it's not real.
Yeah.
He's going to call me and be like, hey, I was fucking with everybody. How crazy was that? So it is easy to do that, but there are a lot of things that point to many of these people, including Anthony Bourdain, including Kate Spade, that, they don't really make sense, and at minimal should be looked into, or be open-minded about the possibilities.
I'm totally open-minded. I'm very open-minded. And I tend to lean towards shit was fucked up and something really corrupt happened.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I tend to lean because I know how the world works, and I know what motherfuckers with power do to stay in power, and I know how fucking evil people are, and I know that Chester and Chris and Cornell's wife were all working together and had a foundation going for helping sexually abused fucking victims.
Which you and I have talked about for a while well before the podcast. We were talking about this particular thing about to come out. Several of the people that we brought up are they're no longer with us. So it is, I mean, we literally had this conversation while I tattooed you, and 3 of them aren't here anymore?
Some of them are. So when you want to see evil in action, you see people that are trying to do things to help other people, and when they get taken out, that's horrible. It hits me hard, man.
Sure. Yeah. It's very real.
They're very real, and they were working so hard and sacrificing so much to really help the world, help people that were fucked up. I was fucked up when I grew up. I had no sexual assault shit going on or anything. Thank God I wasn't abused that way. I was physically abused and emotionally abused, but not sexually abused. But I know tons of people who deal with all sorts of abuse and shit. So that sexual shit has to be so much harder, man. I mean, I can't imagine having to deal with that shit on top of my normal fucked up brain, you know, on top of my normal shit that I always had. I had to rewire and fucking relearn how to be a fucking good, natural, normal human being, or at least in my own version of that. And so when I see people that are so beautiful in trying to create positivity and happiness in the world, or at least fucking, and that will go into the dark places with fucking every bit of intention of, you know, shining light on that bullshit and eliminating the darkness as much as possible to help others.
Right.
And then you see them get fucking whacked. It hurts.
Yeah.
It really fucking makes me sad, man. And I've got, you know, that's why I've got a lot of the tats I've got and shit. It's in memorial to the people that fucking have sacrificed, you know, JFK. God damn it, man. I mean, that motherfucker got whacked for trying to help the world be a better place.
Right.
I mean, the fucking originator of the civil rights movement and shit. He was working with Martin Luther King to make that shit happen. You know, it was so, and to decentralize the CIA and the big fucking government and the war machine and all the bullshit that is running the world right now. That is evil. The fucking Clinton machine,
Right.
the fucking Trump bullshit, whatever the fuck you want to say. I mean, there's always facets of it, but he was going after the heart of these fucking mechanisms and dismantling them. And they went, all we gotta do is shoot his ass right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And that's what they did. And they did it in fucking glorious fashion. And so if you do something like that and you live righteously, just know that there are people out there who see that and do respect it, and not only we're inspired by it, and we use that to fuel ourselves. And that's why I talk about this shit. That's why I'll continue to say fucking fuck the Clintons, fuck the fucking Trump machine, fuck the Bushes, fuck all these guys, fuck anybody who wants to be an evil piece of shit, fuck anybody who wants to have that power, anybody who wants to be a goddamn puppet.
The Koch brothers.
The Koch brothers, the fucking Rothschilds.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many horrible fucking families out there. Right. And you can be like, well, they were just born in. But if you maintain that shit, or if you have wealth that is so unbelievable that if you just redistributed a little bit of it, the entire fucking paradigm of the world would shift. Yeah. You should do that.
Right. Absolutely. It's really unbelievable. The amount, the Koch brothers are such a great example. The power that they have over decision making is unreal, because it's pretty much unending. The money, you know what I mean? So,
and when you print money, man, I mean, when you're printing money, wealth takes on this whole other thing. But I mean, we can't even really, we can talk about, but we don't have any real concept of it because we've never printed our own money, and we don't get to set loans about shit, and we have to actually work. You and I both have to fucking produce. We can't just go, oh, okay, cool, my printing press is going to be making me X amount of billions.
Nothing really matters. It's weird. You know what I mean?
What else am I going to acquire? I don't need to acquire. I've acquired everything.
Yeah.
I have everything. And that's just such an unhealthy fucking mind state anyways. Like, and
the people that have that, you know, when they say they grew up with it, that's the only reality they've ever known.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, you know, I was very fortunate that when I lived in Arizona, the shop I worked at was called Club Tattoo. It's actually a massive hit in Vegas now. Chester was half owner of it later on, but Chester was the counter guy because Chester was in the band. He was the singer of a band called Gray Days. The two owners of the shop were Sean Dowdell and this guy named Mace. And Mace played bass and Sean played drums and Chester sang, and I don't remember the other people in the band. But, you know, they're just a local popular Arizona, like Phoenix, Tempe, Arizona band. But you knew, you'd go see him and be like, holy shit, Chester, this guy's fucking voice. If you guys haven't heard it, look up old. It's Gray Days, spelled D-A-Z-E. Guarantee you'll find some stuff on YouTube. You'll be like immediately, oh shit, that's Chester.
That's badass.
Yeah, so he got kind of hooked up later on with trying out with Linkin Park. And obviously Linkin Park was already a band, I believe. But he's the one that clearly made it. You know what I mean? And so it's kind of cool. Like, you know, I always kind of joke around. I'm like, yeah, I know Chester. He still owes me $5 for lending him money for lunch one day because he was the counter guy, you know. All those tattoos of the flames and stuff, he got that shit at the shop I worked at, you know. And, you know, he was a quiet guy and stuff. But, like, you definitely saw something in him. I didn't realize he was going to become a superstar. So that was interesting.
You never know.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know. And that's I love seeing, and that's why it sucks that he is not with us anymore.
Right.
Because apparently he was the right type of superstar.
Right.
Unassuming.
And his wife, I believe, if I could be wrong on this, but I do believe that his wife or his ex-wife, I'm not sure if they're together or not, pretty quickly came out with exactly what you were saying, that it was murder.
Yeah, well,
I would look into that, but I do feel like
I read documents.
Yeah.
I read that there was enough evidence to arrest somebody for suspicion of the murder.
Gotcha.
And that the fucking police department was told not to pursue.
Because there's video.
Because that's what happens. The DA tells the detectives what to do and what not to do. If they feel like there's enough evidence, if anything that comes back to the DA, and then the DA makes a decision on what to do, and there was no pressure from the beginning. In fact, there was pressure not to pursue any investigation.
Wow.
Which is so fucking suspicious.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm like, suicide? I don't think so.
Yeah, it's really like, one of the reasons that I wanted to do this podcast is because, you tend to be a little more into conspiracies than I am. So it's really interesting to like kind of see where we both sit with certain things. But I will say that I have started to kind of go, well, maybe these people are onto something. Because everything can't be a conspiracy. Every school shooting can't be fake. There are bad motherfuckers out there that do this stuff. So like sometimes when people I'll meet people, and you've never been this way, but I'll meet people who immediately, no matter what happens, immediately conspiracy, which makes me overcompensate and go, no.
You bounce back.
Yeah, but now, as I've just really learned to delve into my own, stuff, man, it's definitely, there's some stuff that's really, really interesting. And there's some conspiracies that people had forever that were proven that they were right. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's definitely worth looking into yourself. Like, just be open-minded. You know what I mean? If some tragedy happens, don't be the first person to call for a false flag, but look into the reasoning, follow the money. You know what I mean?
And with that, like, I try to be open-minded and open-hearted. So that's why I wasn't there. I didn't see the evidence. I didn't see the video of the suicide or murder, but I feel super sad about it.
Right.
And I feel like there was probably some shady shit that happened. So I am sad and mad, but I don't really have anywhere to channel that. So for now, I just trying to work those emotions out, man, because he's gone. Yeah. Both of them are gone. Yeah. But if they were murdered, then I know why they were, or some of those reasons. And I'm that much more passionate about, fucking over the fucking sex slave rings.
Exactly.
Fuck those motherfuckers. Right. Evil people. Yeah. Evil groups.
All that sex trafficking, all that stuff, it's beyond comprehension to me how evil
so rampant. People fucking think it's not, but it's because the media fucking is controlled by the same people that are doing it.
Corey Feldman's been screaming it for years. I'm surprised he's alive.
So it's horrible that they're able to continue doing it and then just killing people. Just this motherfucker's got too much fame.
Done.
This motherfucker. He was best friends, but now he's gonna freak the fuck out.
Yeah.
Because when I love when dudes do tweet, and then there's guys like Alex Jones who are smart as fuck, and they go get fucking physicals once a month or once every 3 months. Say what you want about Alex Jones. I'm not all up on his dick. I don't even listen to the guy anymore or anything. I never really did. I never subscribed. I just have homies who did. And I like some of the shit he says, because he's the one who says shit 10 years before. There's fucking sex slave fucking ring. There's fucking, these guys are evil fucking people. They're fucking kids. Yes, they are. They're evil and they're fucking kids, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of the other shit, maybe not. The chemtrails, I don't know. Other shit, I'm not sure about. But that shit is true.
Right.
So fucking word, man. Yeah. Word, keep it up. And go get your goddamn shit checked, so we know that you ain't going to have a coronary next week, bro.
Right.
So if that happens, there's a motherfucker, there's a nice little fucking, fail safe to go, yeah, he was suicided. I wonder what he said this week.
Right.
Let's listen to what he was saying.
And I was just about to say all this shit we're talking about. So if Sean and I just mysteriously die in a car accident.
I'm healthy as fuck. Yeah. I am healthy as fuck. So unless I get capped.
Right.
But I feel like I've already got my fucking whole allotment for, gunshot attempts on me.
I think you're good.
For this year.
You're good for a while.
At least this year.
Fuck.
So I'm actually going to have to take a piss. Should we?
Make sure we have that.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel way better after that piss.
Nice little quick break there.
Yeah, and
One day we'll have a sponsor commercial in the middle of that. That's
Yeah.
a perfect spot for On It.
brought to you by On It,
Right.
the new Gorilla Tea, and by Audible, which I listen to every fucking day.
Right.
Actually, I'm listening to Pet Cemetery
Nice.
right now.
Nice.
Which
Who reads it?
I can't remember
Is
who.
it good though? Is it
He's
like
good.
a good?
Yeah, he's good.
That seems like it'd be one of those ones where it really have to be the right voice. I actually listened to an Audible maybe a week ago, and it was like pretty long, and it was just the guy was just not the right. It was the author, so he wanted to do his own.
He's better be good.
It just was. He had a weird way of, I don't know. It was difficult.
The
to get
only
into.
author I like listening to is Neil Gaiman.
Yeah, oh for sure.
He is so good.
Yeah.
Or Gaiman, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But no, the book I just got off of was a Stephen King book, and it was The Outsider. I just finished The Outsider, which is a new Stephen King. They're talking about iPads and shit.
Wow.
It's so weird when you're listening to a Stephen King book and they bring up an iPad or an iPhone or
Yeah.
email, and because I'm so used to
and even though it's
70s,
new,
80s.
Is it still badass though? Like even though it's
It's
new,
good.
Yeah.
Oh
Nice.
fuck.
God,
it's
he's
so
just
good.
Done so many fucking books. You know what I mean? It's like
Bro,
crazy.
he's still ripping it up.
Wow.
So that's a good one. The Outsider by Stephen King, and the guy who reads it does a pretty good job. But I know what you mean, because before I pick an Audible book, unless it's just Stephen King,
Yeah.
or like somebody I know that's just brilliant, I'll always listen into the sample first because I want to hear.
Yeah, you get. I don't know. Just to get that voice, it's just weird. And like I listen to a little bit of Adam Carolla, and he'll do his own Audible books too. But like instead of following the book, he'll kind of start. He likes to rant, which I appreciate. But he'll like start ranting in the middle of it. So like the Audible book is very different from if you actually
That's
read
dope.
The book.
That's almost like
it is cool though. Yeah,
a podcast, or that's like an commentary along with.
Yeah, it's pretty
which
cool.
Is dope. But when it's somebody that's just a perfect book, written, edited brilliantly from start to finish, you want somebody to really bring out the performance of it.
Speaking of Adam Carolla too, he's somebody who was on some shit early on. Like he wrote a book years ago called "In 15 Years We'll All Be Chicks," and it was all about like how everything's going and stuff. And he was way off on the mark because it's definitely happening quicker. But he was ranting and stuff about depression being correlated with just getting up and moving and exercise, which is you've heard me talk about. One of the reasons that so many people wrote me about how I got healthy was because I ended my my explanation about how my anxiety and depression had gone away, which I was plagued with for my life, and like severe, very severe.
I remember.
And so some people were like, you know what, I feel healthy, or I'm not overweight, but I have anxiety. Can you help me with that? So, but he was the first person I ever heard to just start walking, just start moving, just get up, stop sighing all the time. You know what I mean? And I've talked about it before, but I used to kind of just be like, he doesn't understand depression, but it's amazing. He does.
And he's active.
Yeah.
The guy.
Yeah. And for his age, he's still in shape and everything. You know what I mean? Like, you might not agree with everything he says. I'm a fan. You know what I mean? I think he's really smart.
I love his style. He's brilliant. The guy's brilliant.
He's not afraid to say what's on his mind. He's got balls.
He reminds me of us.
Yeah.
It's like when he gets into something, he's like, I'm going to do this.
Yeah, you'll be talking. He'll be like, no, God damn it, I'm pissed now. And then that's the best shit coming next.
Yeah, dog, get me fired up. Get me fired up, son.
Exactly, yeah.
Get me passionate.
Yeah. So I was lucky enough to get to go see him a few years ago because he did a live podcast. It's like watching a comedy routine, but it's like they're filming, they're doing the podcast.
They're just doing a podcast.
It sold out. It was badass in Portland. So if you get a chance to do that, highly recommend it.
The other thing I really liked about him was that he does his own fucking like construction projects.
Yeah.
I mean, not major shit, but he did like some renovations and where he built his own like fucking little studio and shit.
Yeah, he built his whole studio. He started out.
That's
Right.
my style.
That's badass.
So
yeah.
I was like, dude, I feel you. When you want something done right,
exactly,
you kind of just got to do it, man. And
he started out as a construction worker. He was from this, kind of poor, I don't want to say white trash, but pretty poor family. He used to talk about how he, was from Hollywood. He would jump over his neighbor's fence and jump in their pool and go lay in the bed to cool off because, his parents, they weren't poor, but they just didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? It's like they had air conditioning, but they wouldn't run it. Stuff like that. It's like they wouldn't do anything that cost anything. So he was a smart guy, and he was doing construction. He listened to this radio station all the time. And back then, Jimmy Kimmel was the host of this radio station. They didn't know each other at all. They're like best friends now. But they were joking around about getting a guy that knows how to box to come in and train Kimmel for this fight. And Adam Carolla was smart enough. He was like, I'm going to do that. I'm going to be that guy. Well, he called in and he was hilarious. And they got him on the show because he was funny. And he did become Kimmel's real trainer. He's actually a real boxing coach.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And
Corolla can box?
Absolutely. Yeah. And
unassuming dude.
I know, right? And because of him being so funny, he became a regular on the show with these characters that he did. He used to do this thing called this character, Mr. Bertram, which was a gym class teacher that was like super racist and stuff. You know what I mean? And so they had him on weekly, and that's what turned into his career, which rolled into the Man Show, which rolled into Loveline, which went on forever. I think just finally went off the air. So if you're into podcasts and you haven't, check out Adam Carolla. Check out he still does the Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla show, which is basically Loveline. Yeah, you know what I mean. So and you can find all that on Podcast One and on iTunes. All the same stuff you can find Art of Truth on. So,
yeah.
Yep.
So what do we got to do to get our fucking like cover photo of that to be something badass? Because right now it's just that fucking.
It's supposed to be.
Like a purple.
So when we upload our podcasts, we upload it through a company called Anchor, and they've just had some bugs. You know what I mean? So that's why it took so long to get onto iTunes. So we have artwork. Everything translated, but the artwork. So I'm working on that.
Okay.
Yeah, because right now you'll see like a boring purple square.
I was like, I ain't gonna fucking check that shit out.
No, exactly.
Boring ass fucking purple bullshit.
Yeah, fuck those guys.
That's like that Sunny D commercial, dog. Yeah. Boring ass purple bullshit.
It's purple drink.
I don't need none of that.
Right. So for whatever reason, but that should be fixed soon.
So, hey, we added a new fucking glass piece to the little table right here, which...
Yeah, for those of you watching, this is pretty crazy. Like, everybody I show this to, I'm like, those aren't cigarettes.
Have you shown a couple people that?
Oh, yeah. I always bring people... I'm like, this is where the magic happens.
This is. Yeah. Isn't this?
Yeah.
This is
yeah.
This is where the magic does...
But I think they think it's just like a dirty bong. And I'm like, no, dog,
that's
fucking glass. Glass.
That is maybe my favorite, just like a raw artistic piece.
Yeah.
Because I'm an ex-cigarette smoker. I quit smoking cigarettes. Yeah, that's all glass. That's not actually.
It's got the ash and everything. It's
amazing. Yeah, the frit.
Yeah.
So that actually was like really hard for the two guys. Jake Miser, who's my fucking number one favorite glass blower, just for all of my own personal functional pieces. That's what I use. I use Jake Miser pieces. Jake, you're my boy, bro. Thank you. And this dude who goes by Imperial One, who does a lot of really cool like novelty type theme stuff. He'll do he'll make like a lot of his stuff is candy themed. Right. So Sour Patch Kids that are not candy, they are glass, and they will fuck your mouth up worse than Sour Patch Kids. And but they look just like fucking candy, man. I mean, it's real shit. So they like playing around, and both of those cats were hanging out together at the same time when they both like kind of decided to quit smoking cigarettes. Mm-hmm. And so they just came up with this theme for a fucking cigarette based piece, and not make it, to make it kind of like real. Like why do we hate cigarettes?
Right.
Because they're gross, bro. But yeah, and we love chronic. We're never going to stop smoking chronic. In fact, chronic is every bit of why we love why we're in the glass business, why we fucking love to grow or do what we do, and what we're passionate about. So with that theme, they were like, let's make a fucking dope ass fucking rig for chronic, and but it'll be a cigarette theme.
They did a fucking amazing job.
They did, man. When I saw that thing the first time, I was like, that is so fucking dope.
It's very unique too.
Oh my god, I love that thing. So I looked at it for like a year before my bro sold it to me.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of fucking, so what's up with that piece, brother? Right.
A little back and forth. There's even like the detail. You can't see it from the camera, but like the cigarettes have like, the filters and the.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy.
No, it's that's why I love it. I mean, to me, it looks like an ashtray.
Yeah, completely.
But it's art. And so, and I hate cigarettes. I mean, I was the fruitiest cigarette smoker. Like I would fucking stand and watch where the wind was. Okay, the wind's right. And then I would hold my cigarette out like this, and fucking so the smoke wouldn't touch me, because I hate cigarette smoke. That shit is gross.
Gets in your fucking hair, your fucking
dog,
clothes.
It's the most nasty bullshit. It is offensive.
And anytime I've ever bought anything, like I purchased something from eBay or something, I'm always like, this is from a non-smoking house, because.
Really? I never do, but that's smart.
Right?
That's smart as fuck. Yeah.
Let's say you buy some fucking dope hat that you like or whatever.
Chick's like, I'm vegan. Yeah, but do you smoke cigarettes?
Yeah, it's like you're gonna smell it hard when it shows up at your house.
Dude. Yeah. So yeah, I fucking I hate cigarettes. Hate them. Mm-hmm. They're just horrible. I understand the need to take a deep breath.
Sure.
And that's part of the thing. And so anybody who has a problem with smoking cigarettes, you can totally beat that. And this is how I did it. And the reason part of why I quit drinking alcohol when I quit drinking alcohol was to stop smoking cigarettes as well. And I was chewing tobacco at the time, Grizzly Long Cut, and smoking probably American Spirits. I think when I was like really fucking committed to quitting the third time I had quit, because I had quit during several periods of my life, usually in periods where I wasn't drinking very heavily. And I'd be smoking chronic more. So I love weed. I'm not going to not smoke weed, but I definitely don't want any other bullshit smoke in my lungs. And I really am careful about what I put in my lungs too, like vapor wise. I actually got another addition for the podcast studio. We have a volcano now. So that vaporizes the flower, which is a much healthier way of combusting it as opposed to a joint, which is so much more fucking carcinogenic because you're actually inhaling combusted smoke, which is more harmful on the system. It's not nearly as bad as a normal tobacco cigarette, but for me at certain times, because of my allergies, because of all the other pollutants we have in the area, I am more sensitive to that shit. And I love my volcano, and it's one of the most healthiest ways to fucking to imbibe cannabis. And the product that you get after it, because it's just decarboxylated, which means it's not combusted, it's just heated to a certain point and not beyond that. There's still a ton of cannabinoids and THC still available in that stuff, and I make my edibles out of that. Okay. So it's very healthy all around, but I don't like cigarettes. So I want to quit really bad, but I would always break down and have a goddamn smoke when I would drink. I mean, it would be like one beer, man, and I would be like, fucking.
I know people like that. They're like, I don't really smoke, but I smoke.
I smoke when I drink.
Social or
so
how
often do you drink?
Right.
You know,
when I smoke.
Yeah. So I need a smoke. Okay. Can I have a drink?
Right.
You know?
Right.
That's how it always goes. It always does. It's funny, but those are the things.
Okay.
And so I would always just tell myself, all right, just try not to smoke as much as possible. I would maximum maybe have like 4 cigarettes a day and hate them the whole time I was doing it. And I'd always wash my hands, going and wash that bullshit off my hands.
It seeps in you.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
I could smell it on myself and I hated it. And so I knew I was a horrible cigarette smoker. If you act fucking, retardedly gay, and forgive that, but that's, where's that shit at?
Right.
Ew, gross. I was like that. And so I was like, I'm not meant to be a cigarette smoker. But I need to quit drinking to make that happen. I was 22 years old and I wanted to get other shit in my life figured out and everything. So that's why, part of why I quit drinking, and then other things fell into place. And I mentioned the whole fucking having higher standards with women. And that was a major thing too. I realized that if I didn't want to have a woman, my potential partner, be somebody who was like, had habits that I didn't really desire, then I should not have those habits myself.
Absolutely.
That was pretty much the only way to really make sure that happened. So I made that transition and I chose to just do it hardcore. And so I did quit drinking, and I didn't drink for over 11 years, dude, until just a couple of weeks ago. I had my first beer.
Really?
Yeah. And that was, that came about mainly, there was a lot of things that fell into place, not just to mention the whole life scare from, being shot at. And, I listened to the podcast because I love listening to our podcast. And I had listened to my intentions and why I explained. And it was like, dude, it was pretty comical because I was like, those really aren't my intentions anymore. That was why I had quit. But
sure.
11 years of my life, I have evolved so much from who I was as a 22-year-old when I quit drinking to who I am as a 33-year-old now. And it's all about it. Really, life is about discipline and moderation.
Absolutely.
And I have done enough substances in my entire life, let alone the last 11 years, to know I can handle any fucking thing. Okay. It's just all about moderation. And I'm not a heroin dude. How can I,
So since it had been 11 years, what was it like? Well, first of all, what did you choose?
So with that, I had been reevaluating my whole intentions behind not drinking for several weeks. if not months, if not years now. But I had decided I was going to at least do a decade, because I was like, when you're at 8 years of not drinking, it's like, motherfucker, I might as well go 10, like, what is it?
Right.
And after 10, you're like, well, shit, I got a decade under my belt. I proved that, and I've had dreams about, that's the most weird thing is I can't tell you how many countless dreams I have had in the last fucking 2 years in particularly, where I just had one drink. Wow. Or a shot of whiskey with a homie like you. I think I could probably had a dream of hanging out with you at some point or something, or Sean King or somebody else, and somebody just being like, bro, just have a shot.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, bro, let's have a shot.
Right.
Appropriate time, appropriate fucking scene. Right. My boy, fuck yeah. And then that was it. And I wake up the next day, and I wouldn't even feel guilty that I had a shot in my dream, because I knew it was just, I wasn't craving it. And then I would have to remind myself, bro, you still haven't drank. And it was like, oh shit, yeah, that's right, I haven't drank. Cool, another 10 years still, or whatever. Well, when my main thing when I quit drinking was basically not to be like my dad, because at that time and right around that time, I had a scare of getting a woman pregnant, and all these things in my head were like, dude, spouse, partner, potential partner, all that shit is because our genetics say, spread your seed, bust the nut, have the kids, fucking create some dependence, get your tax kickback, do this shit, produce, son, create to the great chain of life. So my monkey brain was saying to do that, but I didn't want to be like my dad. My dad fucked up, and alcohol was such a big part of that. And I knew that all growing up and shit. So that's why I was so easy and eager to get off the alcohol train. Well, when I got shot at a few months ago, I realized, like, you know what? I might not even ever have kids. What if I'd have died then? You know what I'm saying? What if you just shot me in my balls?
Right.
If that was it, then I'm fucking done, dude. And I never had a shot of whiskey when I went out. And I watched Inglourious Bastards the other night, a couple weeks ago. I fucking love that movie. And there's a scene in that shit with Michael Fassbender when they're down in that basement. And I love Fassbender, one of my favorite actors of all time.
For sure.
But he has that scene where he gets busted by that fucking Nazi fucking, officer, one of the high officers. And he's an SS officer for, using the wrong way to say 3 when he orders 3 drinks.
Right.
And that's what dude goes, you gave it up, bro. Game's over. Like, you're not making it out of this basement. And the other dude goes, yeah, I know. I've had a gun on your nuts ever since you sit down. And he fucking goes, all right, so this is it. And he starts talking in English to the motherfucker instead of fucking keeping up the pretense of the German. And he goes, well, they say there's a special rung reserved in hell for those who waste good scotch.
Right.
Damn good stuff. And that's when they just go, pa, pa, pa. And it's just like,
yeah.
Well said, bro.
Yeah.
If you're going to phase out, to it however you want to do it, man. Meet that other energy form, whatever it is, whenever you're trying to fucking leave this plane, do how you do. And then that just set some other shit in my emotion. And I was like, man, what if it was acid? What if it was mushrooms? What if it was weed? I mean, there's always something that I'm always, DMT. What if it's going to help expand my consciousness or help me enjoy something that much more and keep me in tune? Even if it's alcohol, which is so rare because alcohol is so good at tuning shit out. And that's why I don't choose it. That's why I don't like it per se. But in the right instance, it will help you, fucking, especially if you're in a group full of loved ones and it's a celebratory thing or whatever it is, then, alcohol can be an appropriate thing.
Sure.
And I've, for the last 11 years, have said, no, thank you, for just no's sake.
Right.
And for the longevity's sake. And so I decided, I was like, man, yeah, I think I'm going to fucking say yes. And enjoy the moment, because for me, it's not a chemical thing. It's not like I fucking have, one sip of booze, whatever it be, and then I'm done, and it's, all sorts of self-controls out the window and crack rocks and fucking
killing hookers.
Yeah. All that. So that's not my fucking, hiccup. It's my own mental shit. I'm like, well, shit, man. I mean, should I have this beer because of fucking, calories sake, or is there gluten in that, whatever it is. So now I was like, I think I'm going to start having a good beer every once in a while, especially in summertime. If you're drinking in the middle of winter in Oregon, you're a goddamn degenerate. I'm sorry. If you drink consistently, because it's so dark and it's so depressing. Tend to be more depressed anyways. That's why I work out.
Right.
That's why I go to the gym and get in this light, and I'm active, and I push that shit out every day, all year round, because that keeps me healthy all year round. Well, alcohol is a depressant. Number one, that motherfucker is a chemical depressant. It is fucking fun at first, but the fucking whole chemical reaction in your brain, it actually makes you depressed.
Yeah.
On a molecular level. And I don't need any help being depressed on any goddamn level.
Right, especially in the winter in Oregon.
Especially in the winter in Oregon. So even when I was younger, 20, 21, 22, I would always kind of phase out of drinking heavy in the winter because it just didn't work for me. And that's part of why I was always down to just abstain. But during the summertime, I love a goddamn beer. I love having a fucking, good drink or a fucking cider or whatever it is, and chilling in the sun, soaking up the goddamn rays, getting all brown, fucking feeling good, knowing that I'm looking good. Even brown fat looks so much better than white fat.
Right.
So much better. It's unbelievable.
Before I decided to get healthy, I used to be like, I'll just tattoo all of it. You know what I mean? Like you can be fat and be covered.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I guess brown's kind of the same idea. Just hand that shit.
Oh, dude, yeah. Mix in some darks, some shades and shit. I saw that one dude that had the most sick fucking ab tattoo, but he was a fatty.
Right.
It looked so good because they added just enough brown that it looked like he was tanned. It wasn't actual
it was like
ab line.
Oh,
yeah.
Shit.
Oh, it's so clean, dude. It was brilliant because they added the right brown tones.
Yeah, if you do it right, man. I mean, that could be a legitimate business thing. You know what I mean? Like, just that's all you do is specialize in different kind of abs. You know, you want a 6-pack? You want a 4-pack? We got you.
You're the doctor.
Right.
You are that fucking doughboy doctor.
Fuck, man.
So yeah, but I had told my parents, my mom and my stepdad, a couple days before Father's Day, that this is where I was at with that. I'd already talked to my brother, and part of that was too is my brother had told me several weeks before I had really started thinking that he had finally not drank for a whole week. My brother has not had an alcoholic drink or beverage for a week or longer since he was legally allowed to drink.
Wow.
So for like 20 something years or 18 at least. And he's healthy now and shit, but I've always wanted to, I'm just kind of like that. I'm his little brother, but I'm his big brother. And, I've always been kind of like trying to be a provider and a protector, and that's my role in the family. So I wanted to be that role model for him and be like, bro, this is what you should do to be healthy or whatever, at some point, just to try it out, because I knew it was going to catch up with him. And he did. And he's like, bro, I feel really good. And I think I'm going to start kind of just being more selective about drinking and shit. And my dad and I hung out for the first fucking time. I went out and hung out at my dad's house, and I went and shot guns because I want to make sure my guns are operating, because if anybody's shooting at me, I'm going to shoot back.
Right.
And I'm a good shot, so I want the motherfucking gun to work the way it needs to. And that's something me and my dad have always bonded on. Always. I mean, my dad is Mr. Gun, and he loves me like none other. So that was the first time I had been out to his house in over 2 years. It was the first time we were able to hang out and fucking talk about anything at all for over 2 years. And it was nice, man. It was more comfortable than I imagined it being. And it was just a relief to get that out of the air. But my dad's sober. He hasn't drank in several years. He's on opiates for his fucking pain from knee replacement and other shit. But he seemed like he's in a pretty decent, healthy place. So, and my best friend, Austin, who had quit drinking on New Year's in like 2016, was sober for a year and a half, and then decided to have a beer at a fucking concert he was at. I don't remember if it was Soundgarden or who he was seeing up in fucking P-Town, but he had a beer or whatever. And then he, after a year and a half, and decided to just drink, on a more selective occasion than what he had been, and totally redisciplined his whole self and shit. So these are the homies that I talk to and that I care about, and the people that I love that affect me and that influence how I want to live my life and shit. So I was talking to them and I had conversations with them about that and about my thoughts and my dreams and all these intentions and all my reasons for stuff. And in doing that, totally reshaped my whole fucking, outlook on drinking again for myself. I'm going to keep it open and fluid and shit. Like I was telling my parents, if I feel like I'm getting fat, I'm not going to fucking drink,
Right.
That's the main thing for me. It's so, but,
Those liquid calories will get you, man.
dude, they will.
Yeah.
But also just anything else. I mean, attitude wise, if I feel like I'm being cunty or if I feel like I'm feeling depressed or whatever, I realize that I'm not really into gluten. So these fucking dank ass beers that I used to love or I would have loved back in the day because I wouldn't have given a shit because I was eating pizza for dinner anyways and all that. I'm like, it hurts my stomach.
Does it really?
Yeah, but there's some ciders out there that are so bomb. So the reason that the first beer I had was my stepbrother was up for Father's Day because he lives in San Francisco and he is a fucking award-winning, world-class brewer. The guy is like a master brewer down in San Francisco, and he developed a beer last year, a new style of beer that's being brewed and copied by over like 400 brewers across the globe right now.
Shit.
Dude, genius with it. My stepdad's got up at one PhD, another master's degree. Fucking smart folk, We got some brain action working in my family.
Right.
But
is it more of a cider that he's doing as well?
No,
Oh, okay.
no. I didn't even get into it. This is because I'm so not brew. I mean, I made him come over and to my crib and hit my volcano. He likes volcanoes, the thing we were just talking about. He'd never been over to my house before. Before I had, as soon as I saw him, my stepbrother's name's Kim. And I was like, hey, Kim, what's up, brother? He's like, hey, man, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, telling him, I was like, I'm thinking about drinking beer again. I want to pick your brain about some shit because he's the master dude.
Right.
If you want to know about weed, you pick my brain.
Right.
You want to know about beer or shit, you pick his brain.
Sure, yeah.
We also have a wine expert and connoisseur critic in the family as well.
Nice.
So we got all bases covered. Well, I was like, first off, I wanted to get him on my level. So I was like, come over to the crib. And he'd never been over to my house before. I live real close to my parents. On purpose because I like my neighbors.
Right.
So we went over to my place and smoked. I made him smoke with me. He was fucking digging it and shit. And then we went back over to my mom's and she put us on this task of like putting a fountain together. And he goes, your mom and I went and picked out some beers because she said you were thinking about drinking again. And they went to Market of Choice that morning and got a nice selection of stuff that she thought I might want to try. And so I was like, all right, cool, man. And he fucking poured us each this one like Pilsner, and it wasn't that good. And he was like, well, here, cheers. And I was like, all right, cheers. And I got the picture of it before I even took a sip. I have a picture of it, like glass of beer in hand. And I was kind of disappointed by that beer, just by the the taste of it.
Is that the picture you sent me?
Yeah.
See, I thought that was an old picture. I didn't realize.
That was
I should have told by the tattoos.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, well, we haven't really, you've been so busy and shit.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, bro. There's been so much that's happened in this last month.
Right.
Life-changing type of shit.
Yeah.
And there's been other stuff on top of that. But yeah, that was one major fucking change in my life because as you know,
big, yeah.
I have abstained from any type of alcohol consumption for 11 years.
Yeah.
So with that, it's like and I had another beer or two with my bro and my stepdad and shit. We had a great time. That was a fucking beautiful day and everything. But yeah, I mean, I played basketball. That was on a Sunday, and I played basketball the next day, and I felt like kind of lethargic and shit, just because from not being on my normal thing. And I had a burger and a fucking bratwurst, which with buns. So I had like two huge, heavy fucking bread buns too. So it was hard to tell what fucked me up.
Sure, yeah. I'm sure there's a mixture. I'm sure there's the bread.
Dude, the
worst,
bread probably fucked me up the worst,
Yeah.
honestly, is what I felt like. And it did, honestly, because I tried some ciders since then, and I've been fine. Like my stomach don't feel bad at all. And, but yeah, I think I drank in that first week 3 times because my mom's retirement party was the next Sunday.
Okay.
And I went out to the river with a friend who came up from California to visit friends and to hang with me. And he was like, it was like the hottest day of the fucking week. He was like, let's go hang out at Wildwood. which I have a picture on my Insta too of us at Wildwood. Gorgeous day, man. Beautiful, perfect. I made him drive so I could enjoy a couple of beers.
Mm-hmm.
One of the beers was a $12 beer. It's a $12 fucking beer, bro. $12 for this much liquid.
Wow.
Are you fucking kidding me? The only reason why I tried it is because I want to know what's up with the $12 fucking beer.
$5 milkshake.
$5.
Yeah.
God damn, that's a goddamn good milkshake. I don't know if it's worth $5, but it's fucking good. But I didn't have no heroin in my system either. Right. So it was just the weed and the fucking beer. And the beer disappointed. I was like, that is not worth it. Man. Bro, first off, it was apricot-y, and that bitch was all apricots all in my face, man. Right. I'm like, this is too much apricot. It's one of those ones you gotta like, good, though, you gotta twist it because it's like so much shit, like sediment in the bottom, and you can't shake it. So you really, dude, you just gotta twist it like this for like fucking a minute.
It's kind of good that you didn't like it though, because if you fell in love with a $12 beer, that would kind of suck.
Yeah, I was pumped that it wasn't that great. Yeah. And there's some other beers that are amazing though, and I tried one. It was a raspberry beer, and it's made here by a brewer from Eugene. They're called Ale Song. Mm-hmm. They're good. It's fucking good, dude. Raspberry brew. I was like, oh goddamn, oh I'm fucked. That's amazing. And it was like $7, and it's a legit 2 beers, so it's about $3 to $4.
There you go.
Perfect.
Nice.
Just in the right, if it's made from the right stuff, fucking limited edition, it's great. It's worth it, man. I appreciate what you crafted. Mm-hmm. And it fucking tasted amazing, and it added to the ambiance of our swimming session.
Nice.
So that's what's up. And then we went to sushi, me and my boy, and he got some Japanese beer that was dank as fuck. I was like, oh yeah, well, I'll do this again sometime in the summertime too.
Yeah, as long as you're able to keep it in moderation, as long as you're able to be aware of that and not slip into old habits and stuff, then yeah, absolutely.
I haven't even had any hard A. I bought a nice thing of because whiskey and me be like this. Mm-hmm. It's just in my blood, man. Fuck. I haven't had any whiskey for 11 years still.
Right.
But I have a nice bottle of Redbreast 12 at my house now. I was like, all right, when I want a fucking night, if my brother's here or somebody's here or if I'm entertaining whoever, I want to have some nice whiskey. And also vodka. I got a 5th of Chopin. Mm-hmm. Same from the composer. It's named after the composer. But it's potato vodka. It's like the best potato vodka, cheapest, best potato vodka in the world. It's $30 a 5th. And it's worth it. Mm-hmm. And potato vodka because no gluten, way less of a no hangover type. Yeah. It's so much cleaner. It's so much purer. And that's what I care about. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm not putting it in my body if it's fucking dirty. If it's, unless it's like cake.
Right. And again, moderation.
Because that's dirty.
Yeah.
There's no way to get like clean cake. It just sucks, man.
All this future tech stuff we talk about, that's all I really want is clean cake.
I know, man. Angel Food's almost there, but she's still just too sugary.
Right.
I'm actually probably gonna make banana bread tonight, man. I got 3 bananas ripening up and shit, and I was laying in bed last night like, ooh, banana bread. Yep. But yeah, so the whole alcohol thing is definitely gonna be an interesting thing, and that's why I'm just, I can't drink every day at all. Like I don't even want to. That's the thing. I have no cravings to drink. So that's why I'm a good drinker. And that's fucking lame as fuck to say, because who wants to be a good drinker?
Did you get drunk?
Never.
So you just drinking?
Yeah, I haven't had more than 3 drinks in a day.
Gotcha.
And and that's usually spaced out over several hours. Mm-hmm. So yeah, not even, maybe a slight buzz.
Sure.
But that's it, man. I want it. I'm not going to stop smoking. So I'm not stopping my smoke regimen or regime,
Right.
So you can't just, I'm not trying, I can't get drunk. I could if I just continued to drink, but I'm going to feel fucked up and gross. And why am I doing this? Why am I getting drunk? I don't want to shut off shit. I like being in tune. Now my stomach hurts. All I want is like fucking dinner.
I hate that feeling when you put something bad in your body, and it's even if it's good for a minute and you fucking feel it later.
Yeah.
Like even to me, Coke Zero, Sprite Zero, like even that shit, the fake stuff in it, like I'll be like, this actually tastes pretty good. Oh fuck, I feel it.
Well,
in my
that's
stomach,
why I'm not trying to be judgmental, but I'm your friend, bro. And so you shouldn't do any of that diet bullshit. You really shouldn't.
I don't. I mean, I like as I was like going through it, I would try different things.
Yeah.
And I quickly learned that I'm honestly fine with water.
Water
You know
is
what I mean?
the shit. I was talking to my homie the other day. He was going to do mushrooms for the very first time. They had planned to go, this dude and this other dude who were both in college, and this the one cat who was going to, had picked his own mushrooms, knew what the mushrooms were and all this shit. I knew they were not going to work. You can't pick your own mushrooms. You have to grow mushrooms in a goddamn basement and know what the fuck you're doing. You grow them in jars. Okay. That's what the best mushrooms, the ones that will fucking change your perception and do the right things that are worth doing. You don't pick off of cow pies. You get them from motherfucking chemists that are going to the U of O or whatever. That's what you do. And everybody knows that. You can order spores off the internet. You can grow them shits. Do it. You can order all the fungi you want and do this shit yourself. You just can't order the mushrooms. So my buddy is from the Midwest. Awesome dude. Really good person. I like this guy a lot. Super athletic. Never done mushrooms or hallucinogen, but he loves weed. So he has done weed, which is on the minor end of the hallucinogen, but never hallucinated. Well, they were planning on his first like big camping trip in Oregon. They were going to go out to like this lookout point under the stars and take mushrooms. And he was like, bro, I don't know what's going to happen. And I was like, well, first off, you're going to learn how amazing water is. It's the middle of summer. It's hot as fuck. He's athletic. They're going to be hiking.
Right.
I was just like, make sure and take like 3 times as much water as you think you would want. I'm sure you're probably going to take Gatorade too, but trust me that water is going to be what you really fucking wish you brought. And bring some weed and enjoy yourself, bro. You just know that you're a good guy, so shit's gonna work out, and you don't have to worry because it's the only people that can't handle their shit are really fucking stupid or whatever that usually have the problem. And I broke it down to him, so I just kind of eased his fears, and I even told him alcohol is a great way to go into that transition. If you have a couple or a few beers and then take the mushrooms, oh man, it's so much more enjoyable. It's a nice transition because the playful fucking comfort calmness of the alcohol totally smooths out that fucking nice transition of perception, fucking different parts of your brain, so you aren't nearly as like kind of alert to the major changes that honestly when your brain starts activating and things, you will almost freak out or be hypersensitive to things at first because you are hypersensitive when you weren't before. Right. And so it kind of just helps with that. Makes it more comfortable. That's probably the best way to describe it. Makes it more comfortable to a point where it's just pleasant. And then you're just like, oh shit, sweet. Right. I'm seeing different shit and things in a different way now. Nice. Awesome. And so I just tried to break that down to him. Well, turns out the mushrooms they took didn't even work. Oh man. So bummer on that. But I remember realizing how amazing water was the first time I ever was drunk. I couldn't smoke weed because I was on probation and I got pee tested. So what we did, because they wouldn't test me for alcohol and they wouldn't test me for hallucinogens. So, acid and mushrooms. So I did tons of mushrooms and I drank every fucking day and I smoked cigarettes. And we got drunk. We went out to this one fucking campsite. I remember it was at Cottage Grove Lake. It's called Primitive. We rented out 2 campsites and it was a group of heathens. One of our buddies had just graduated from Looking Glass, which is he had just completed a whole DUI or a DUI program because he had gotten a DUI on a bike. So he could smoke weed again. And my buddies drugged me out here. I had 2 tents. 2 of my best friends were like, all right, bro, we're going to go fucking camping tonight. And I was like, no. And they're like, we have mushrooms and we have alcohol. We're going camping. I'm like, fuck that. It's summer. It's hot. I don't want to it was like almost this time, but yeah, almost like this time. And I had been drinking every night. So I was depressed. So I was like, no, fuck that. I'm hurting already. I can't remember if I had done some fucking pills or whatever the night before. I'm sure I did. And so but my 2 best friends, Luke and Willie, had talked me into fucking going out there, and they were like, we'll set up the tents. You don't have to do anything. Just drive us there. We'll take care of everything else. I'm like, okay. So that's what we did. We didn't have water we didn't have anything really. We just were just, out there with our dicks in our hands, and we had tents.
Right.
And my one friend Luke brought his girlfriend out there, and this asshole ate the mushrooms with us, sets up his tent, starts frying, and decides he's going to go lay in the tent with his girl while she goes to fucking bed, and he's just going to go crash with her. And I'm like, good luck with that, asshole.
Right.
You just ate mushroom. You up for 8 hours, son.
Right.
Surprise. So, and then it turns out there was over 40 of us friends all hanging out at this spot.
Holy shit.
Yeah, dude. I mean, we used to mob in force. I'm from Cottage Grove, fucking Oregon, and if you're cool or even semi-cool, you try to hang together because there ain't no shit else to do, and there wasn't back then, at least. And we always coordinated for parties and stuff. It wasn't hard. So all of our friends were there, and we were all, tents here, tents there, tents over here and shit. Well, of course, somebody decided to Yogi Bear, so they went and stole fucking picnic baskets. They went and stole coolers from other fucking campgrounds, the nice hoity-toity fucking campgrounds down the fucking road. They went and jacked shit from and shit, while me and my homie Willie were just, basically it was me and him together for the fuck, because we ate the mushrooms at the same exact time, and we didn't have the girlfriend dragging us down. And so we were just spelunking and trekking together and trying to keep it together and shit, and smoking cigarettes together. And, and then finally I'm just like, I'm dehydrated like a motherfucker, dude. Right at that time, homies show up. It's like 2 a.m. We're lit out of our brains. We're sitting at the fire. I'm just staring at the fire, smoking a cigarette. And I hear this. And it's these two drunk ass motherfucking homies of mine dragging this massive 80 fucking gallon cooler full of juice boxes, bottled water,
You're just like, whoa.
hot dogs, fucking hamburger patties, everything.
The party just got started.
Everything you could want, dude. We were so pumped. As this homie who was this giant of a motherfucker, like Hodor type dude,
Right.
named Caleb Hitt. He's like 6'8", 350 or whatever he was. He just got done eating a Chex Mix and ketchup sandwich.
Ugh.
Wonder bread with Chex Mix and ketchup.
Jesus.
That's what he was eating on, because we were all on mushrooms and shit and drunk and shit.
Right.
Me, him, Todd and Willie, and we're all on mushrooms. There was a lot of mushrooms floating around that summer. And so we're all just in states of trying to fucking get nutrition and hydration and whatever we can get our hands on. And I'm just like, all I want's water, dude. All I want. And then I fucking got one of those bottled waters, and there was nothing more delicious and satisfying to my body and my spirit and my fucking brain than that water.
Yeah.
I've
definitely been there before. Even when I was in Arizona, it was like you couldn't give me anything but water. I think that's all I wanted was water.
I know, dog.
You're just like,
dog, you will die.
Yeah. Literally, yeah.
Yes. But it's so funny because everybody down there drinks. So it's like you're in a fucking mecca of death.
Right.
Everything there. Unless you have like water and piped in electricity for your piped in fucking
they're
cooling.
just all surviving.
You're going to die.
Yeah.
And so, unless you are fucking half native or whatever, or you have one of those badass houses underneath the fucking ground.
Right.
You're going to go. So, but they all just do. They go from building to building, car to car.
Yeah.
And drink, and that's how they sustain it, man. It's a trip.
Yeah.
But so it trips me out when you talk about, man, I'm thinking about moving down. I'm like, no, fuck no. I know you're not going to, but at the same time, I'm like, how could your brain do that?
Yeah.
You don't have this, you don't have that, you don't have other shit.
Right.
It's a fucking microcosm out there, and it's hot as fuck. I could get it if it was like 70 degrees and perfect all year round, but it's not.
Yeah, they'll be like, it's really nice in the winter, and I'm like, what about the rest of the fucking
What,
time?
dog? Dude.
When kids are running outside and fall down and get burned.
It's
Literally,
horrible. I
fucking
can't
terrible.
walk my dogs.
Oh fuck no.
Dog,
No.
Yeah, it's a sad place.
Yeah.
I always enjoyed flying in and then flying out.
Yeah. Cool place to visit for a little bit, but just not for me for sure.
So I've also been thinking about maybe going back to school.
Nice.
Yeah, just for getting my massage certification.
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I'm so interested in how the body works and being healthy and in having my body operate as well as it should.
Yeah.
And always feeling as good as it should. So I do a lot of self massage. I paid so much money for massage in the last 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even ever have a really good massage until I think I was like 24. And then I started really figuring out what massages should do.
Right.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
because if you're not even comfortable with a massage, it's not going to do anything.
Sure.
So if you're like tense and you're fucking like, oh, you know, if you're not working with the masseuse,
Yeah, I think that's like anything. Like if you're not ready to
anything,
get healthy,
any
you know what I mean?
fucking,
Yeah.
especially, and that's what a masseuse is supposed to do. They're supposed to be helping you heal get your body to a nice, healthier state. I don't even know about Swedish massage shit anymore. I know a lot of them can just be therapeutic, but I don't give a fuck about therapy per se. I want to be fucking healed.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
And for me, it takes legit fucking technique and strength,
Right.
and leverage to be able to get my body where it needs to be. And so my guy is the best dude I've ever had massage me, and he has changed my fucking life.
Fuck yeah.
And with that, just like my probation officers changed my life, well, in a healthier way, because I wasn't in such a fucking crazy place, state,
Right.
whatever it is. When I was depressed before I met my massage therapist and shit, but it was because I couldn't work out the way I want to work out. You know, I wasn't living how I wanted to live, but my desires had met up with fucking seeking out, you know, the massage people I did and people I've and the healers I have, because I needed that. And I felt that. And so I went there and I did that shit. And it's gotten me to the place I remember thinking like, man, I think if this is that effective, I could probably start lifting weights again. And that shift in my brain was like the most fucking, it was life-changing.
That's awesome.
Obviously.
Yeah, so it'd be amazing if that's something that you could do to help other people
Exactly.
as well. So
Exactly.
Fuck yeah, man. Good for you for stepping it up. You know what I mean? Fuck yeah.
Well, I think it would just, whether or not I really try to get into being a massage therapist is not really what I'm focused on. It's just learning about the
Yeah,
body.
that's just another thing to learn.
It's
you know
just,
what I mean?
I'm a pretty legit masseuse already. I mean, I've got my technique down.
Don't be tickling or nothing.
Yeah. So, it'd just be nice to be able to be like, yeah, I am a certified masseuse.
Yeah, yeah. Fuck yeah, man. Get it.
Yeah.
I know you
And there's
do it.
schools here. The longest ones take like 2 years. So at max, it'd be like 2 years. But I'm going to try to find one that I can bust it out a little bit quicker.
Sure.
But it'd be nice. It'd be nice to be able to tell people like, yeah, you know, you can do this for that and that for this.
At the Evergreen Convention, most years we hire a masseuse, and every artist gets like a certain amount of time. Like, you know what I mean? We give them like some kind of coupon or whatever, and it's always something that the artists are like, "Oh man, that's so nice."
Well,
Punching over all day long, working. It's so nice to go over there, you know.
and I feel like I have this natural intuition to kind of sense what's going on in people's bodies because I've been so in tune with my own body for so long. My own body's been fucked up and I've gotten it back to a place of health. I had to learn. It's like punishing yourself or, you know, injuring yourself and then going like, okay, now how are we going to heal that?
Right.
And then paying attention to it at every facet and going, how did I do this, that, this? And so it's trial by error, but I did that with myself. And that's why I love cannabis, is because it helped every bit of that. It helped me in the pain, it helped me in the inflammation, and it helped me in the connection of being able to assess what's going on. And it also helped me in learning and rewiring everything as it was healing.
Nice.
So, and that's me and my dude who is my massage therapist are on the same fucking page, man. He gets it. He understands exactly. I mean, our fucking conversations are so similar to ours. Nice. Because he's like, dude, you know what's up with this stuff, and you see things how I'm seeing them. So when we hit shit together, there's a real chemistry there. It gets me to a point where I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm busting out better squats this week.
Nice.
You know, feeling that much stronger, fucking feeling that much better, running this much harder. And it's something that I didn't think I would be doing even a year ago. So the fact that I'm still progressing, I'm just so grateful for.
Yeah. I think that's amazing, man. I think it's amazing that, as a tattoo artist, you know, I hit a point in my career where somebody told me, they're like, you could just stop here and just have a great career for the rest of your life. And I was like, not even interested remotely in stopping here. So
yeah, what type of mentality is that?
That's good that you're still wanting to, like, you know, dive deeper learn more about your own body, how it works, why it works, how to heal yourself. You know what I mean? So,
well, and it's one of those weird things that also kind of coincided with doing this podcast because I'm hanging with you and you're so it's, you got that Carlton curse. You don't see your own success.
Sure.
Even though that's fucking coined off of your own name and shit. Right. You see it, but you are so active, bro. You just got done touring. Right. Your band is so successful. Right. We're in your fucking studio. Your studio is successful. We were just talking about expanding your studio. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can do whatever you want. This podcast is a success and will be a success if we put any fucking real heart and intention and effort into it.
And that's really the secret. You know what I mean? Is like, don't do anything. If you're not into it, don't do it.
Yeah.
Because if you're not going to do your best, whatever the fuck it is, why in the world are you doing it? You know what I mean?
So and in that, and in me reevaluating things, and in me being inspired by you, and in me fucking just feeding off your fuel, and just it's that energy or whatever it is. It's just it's inspirational,
right?
And whatever else is going on in my life and in my brain and in my spirit, that's inspiring me to go, dude, just go learn some more about this stuff. Yeah. Go get certified, bro. That's something that is so easy for you to do, that you should do. That, I mean, accomplishment or not accomplishment, it's just a next step for you. And I'm just like, okay, the universe is telling me this is a next step.
Yeah, just like you listen to when you're thirsty. If the universe is telling you that,
dude,
at least give it a shot.
Listen to your spirit.
Yeah, because, like, you can go to the next level if you're wanting to, or if you're ready to, whatever you need to do. You know what I mean? Or you can kind of stay stagnant. You know what I mean? I'm just not interested in staying stagnant because people are like, you're so fucking busy. And I am busier than even now than I've ever been. And it makes scheduling crazy. But what am I going to do? Sit on the couch?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want to better myself. I want to better my friends. You know what I mean? Hopefully we're inspiring some listeners out there. You know what I mean? I want to, when I close my eyes for that last breath, I want my last thought to just be like, I fucking did it.
Well said, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Well said, man.
So it's like, I'm young. You're young, man. Fucking let's kill it.
And we in the best shape of our lives right now. So
that's what's so great. Yeah, like, because I'll be like, man, I'm wearing the same pants I wore in high school, but I might have been thin in high school, but I'm healthy
and happy now.
Yeah, my doctor walked in and was like, what the fuck?
I know, right?
Yeah, he invited me to do a race with him.
I told you, everybody's going, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
He did. He literally opened the door and it was like, holy shit. He's like, I want you to come in when he has a patient.
Yeah.
He's like, I want you to come in and show them this is what you can do with your life.
Isn't it nice being the role model?
Fuck, man. It was amazing,
So I've been that. My fucking other massage therapist who I saw for the longest time, I was the role model for my acupuncturist and my other dude, because they would try all sorts of different, he's my cupper and everything, and they do all these different things on me. Because at that point I was really fucked up too, body wise. Like my body was so broke down that I wasn't functional. And they were like, man, you have worked so hard to get to a functional place. And if he could see me now, he's really going to fucking flip his wig, because I'm well beyond anything I ever thought I would have been. And I haven't seen him in a long time. So same type of deal, dude. It's like, good job for doing shit and working your ass off. And guess what? You're a poster boy now, And I remember my PO used to do that too, because I had more felonies when I was young than any other person in the whole fucking county. And that's a lot. I mean, not bragging, I was legitimately stupid as fuck.
Right.
For being intelligent, having an intelligent brain. I was the dumbest motherfucker.
Sure.
So, and the shitty thing is like, I couldn't hide my charges, because every time you go into a court, they would list on the docket the order of who's going to go in front of the judge or judges, but they only had one judge, typically Kip Leonard. And then they will list every fucking charge you've ever had underneath your name. And my shit would take up half the page. And so they would have to print off other pages for the other people's shit. And people would be standing at the fucking thing looking at like, where is this guy?
Right.
And I was over there like shit, I can't wait to get this done with. Fuck, hating life. Not that they knew who I was,
A lot
but
of
just
those guys ended up probably in prison.
yeah,
You know
because
what I
they
mean?
only had little shit and they were still fucking with stuff, and I was sitting there waiting to go to prison, and fucking or just coming out of jail, waiting to go to prison. Waiting to see what's going to happen to me, getting your asshole checked, sir.
Right.
Every single time I go from one to the other, every single fucking time. And then being in ISO because they always put me in isolation. So I still had like, I remember having one of those things printed off of like what I had, and we're talking like over 20 goddamn hardcore charges. And, so it's weird to be able to just be like, yeah, dude, like, I switched all that shit up. You know what I'm saying? Like I changed all of that stuff from fucking who I was and everything and where I had been, I was like, yeah, dude, I'm, this isn't who I am. And if you don't know, you don't know about me. And now I'm like completely different dude. There's fucking, that shit only exists. Maybe I have that paper somewhere hidden away or whatever.
You can't live in the past, though.
You can't live in the past, dude. Yeah. Everybody changes. Yeah. And it was my probation officer saying, dude, this kid over here, he did the most stupid shit. Like he used to call me out. That was, but he was like, but he's succeeding. That is a poster boy. And I was like, dog, I'm not the poster boy, bro. Shut the fuck up. Like literally, like I'm not. And that was the first time I ever had anybody tell me, and she used to shove it in my face. You're a leader, dude. Like you are a legit leader. And I was like, first off, I hated myself. So I didn't want to hear any of that. I'm like, I'm not no leader. Don't look at me. I didn't like my fucking personality. I didn't like my body. I didn't like a whole bunch of shit about myself. So I was super, fucking just like, get the fuck out of don't look at me type of deal. And they were trying to go like, no, you need to look at yourself. You have this powerful energy. You affect all these people around you. You affect this, you affect that. Whether or not you know it, so many people look up to you in every situation you're in. There are people around you. They're looking to you first, typically, or, made me aware that I have a powerful presence, which I didn't really know, and then they kind of made me own my own energy and kind of made me understand why I was the way I was, which is where I started gaining control, but they had to call me the fuck out and slap cuffs on me time and time again, man, and threaten me with this or that. And it worked, but it was shitty. And I remember being that role model. And so I like being the role model I am now way more than that dude.
Yeah.
Because that got me to a certain place, but I always felt false when I was going through that shit because I couldn't wait to be able to smoke weed, and I was like, yeah, I'm fucking peeing clean now. And all these little tweakers can't pee clean and that's retarded, but I can't wait to smoke weed. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait to fucking go out there and do shit. Cause my brain still wasn't healthy and shit. Now I'm like, please look at me. Right. Just listen to some of this shit, man. Just be open-minded about something. Think about staying hydrated, fucking where's your diet coming from? What are your intentions behind your diet? You don't have to do shit like me, but try to be open-minded like me, or at least meet me on these fucking common grounds or something. And if you can't, you might have some dysfunction going on in there.
Yeah. Oh, you're leading by example. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's the key is, you know what I mean? Like I've been talking a lot about experience lately. It's like you can talk to me about anything, but if you haven't experienced it, I don't really want to hear it. You know what I mean? I want to hear, you can tell me about fasting or diet or whatever, but did you experience it? You know what I mean? So, that's one of those things. It's like when Nikki was pregnant, everybody wanted to tell her how to parent. It's like, you got kids? You know what I mean? It's like, you know what I mean? Like, I know you can say, well, I was a kid, you know what I mean? But I like experience. So that's why I experience things on my own.
Yeah.
If they don't work out, I can say, hey, I tried this, I tried that, it didn't work. You know what I mean? I tried, doing the ketogenic diet or whatever, whatever's going on, you know what I mean? And I can only speak from my experience and then try to lead by example. I think that's a way to be.
Yeah, you are such an example. So I know tons of people be hitting you up. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You're getting way more people than even ask me at the gym or casually.
My post about my before and after no matter what tattoo I've done, was the highest rated Instagram picture I've ever had.
By far.
I think almost 500 questions and thousands of Instagram likes or whatever. But unfortunately, I think that out of the crazy amount of people that wrote me, I think a lot of them were hoping for me to be like, oh, I take this pill, dude. I take this pill and sit on the couch.
Well,
it's a magic pill. And they were like, wait a minute, carbs? Oh. And I get a lot of people, and they'd be like, oh, man, I got your diet thing, and I'm stoked on it, but I just love nachos too much. And it's like, you're out. They don't even...
But. They said but.
Yeah. And so to me, I don't even really go any further than that, because I'm immediately like, you're not ready.
Yeah.
You're not ready. And whenever you are, I will be here to help you. But it's not some like quick fix diet. Like the only reason I did it fast was because of the diabetes. I would have taken it a lot slower if it wasn't, trying to reverse this disease. But
but it was a quick fix diet.
But like you don't have to do it as fast.
No, you don't.
It's almost 60 pounds now. If I had done it in a year, that'd be amazing, right?
Jesus.
Yeah. 60 pounds. That's crazy.
Bro, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. So it's almost an instant thing, because you were dropping weight right away.
Yeah.
And I keep on wondering when you're going to bottom out, because you definitely
now I just have to work out harder to do it.
Work out harder.
Yeah.
And you're going to start getting lightheaded. Oh shit. I'm seeing dots and spots.
But I just think that anybody that wants to do it could do it. Unfortunately, I think a lot of people have excuses. A lot of people say, it runs in my family. And, in my brain, I'm like, nobody runs in your family. You know what I mean? Like, not to be a dick, but it's like when you're ready to stop making excuses and change your life, whether it's health, whether it's becoming a better artist, whether it's, you want to go to school, but you're afraid of something. When you're ready, you're going to do it, and you're going to do it the right way. And that's just what I promote with my own experience. I have the experience of the weight loss. Therefore, I feel comfortable telling somebody at least how I did it. You know what I mean?
Dude, there's nobody who should be talking about it more than you.
Sure.
And because you fucking educated yourself 100% about what you were doing, how you were doing it, was the best way to cure what you needed to cure. Right. And now you're even educating yourself on how to just get strong and healthy and taking that next step. And why wouldn't somebody look at you and be like, how the fuck did you do that?
Right.
You completely changed. You transformed, dog. You a X-Man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I literally, like,
your your fucking power is killing fucking
I literally
bullshit ailments.
Reversed a fucking disease that people will have for the rest of their lives and end up in wheelchairs. And like, I can own that. I did it. You can't take that away from me. I fucking got the doctor. I got the paperwork to prove it. I got the test to prove it. You know what I mean? And I'm going to test myself every month and make sure I'm not slipping up. Like, this can't be like, remember that time I cured diabetes, but you know what I mean? No, this is for life. And one of the reasons I'm doing the podcast is I'm holding myself accountable.
Yeah.
Like, you know how much shit you guys are gonna be able to talk about me if I get fat again?
Yeah.
I beg you all, if you see me fat, you better fucking you better punch me in the fucking face.
You'll commit suicide, because the hate coming, just the trolls and the shit talking.
You walk up to me.
You were so fucking torch about hardcore and fitness, and now you fat fucking piece of shit. You tricked me into getting healthy.
It'll never happen. It'll never happen.
It's not you.
I have zero desire to be unhealthy. It's not even about fat. It's health.
Right.
You know what I mean? My brain feels better. Everything feels better. You know what I mean?
Word.
So, like, if you're, listening to this podcast, like, again, hit me up. It might take me a minute. I can't answer everybody right away, but, I'll help out all I can. Sean will help out all he can with
Nobody's hit me up. Not one person.
Hit him up.
And nobody knows.
Smart guy sitting here, guys.
Okay, so my Instagram is Sean46 and 2. It's Sean46, the 2 numbers, 46, the word and the number 2, 46 and 2, like the Tool song.
You want to know about some CBD? Hit him up.
But yeah, dude, any type of type of fitness type question. If you like conspiracy shit, I don't know if I'll talk to you if you're a stranger and shit, but you can follow us, because we're also on Instagram now. The podcast is the Art of Truth podcast on Instagram as well.
Please subscribe to that as well.
We'll let people know when new episodes are out and stuff, and then when things are going to be available. I mean, everything's going to be up on YouTube pretty much within a day of us doing the podcast.
Yeah, Sean has taken over the editing process because of my schedule, and he'll get it up a lot faster than me too. So
and I like it. I really like it. And that was one of those things where I'm like, okay, I like doing this shit. It was so fucking.
You're natural at it too. It was real easy for you. It was just something that I always did, and but because of how busy I was, and then Sean had offered. I'm a real control person, so I was like, nope. And then I was like, well, shit, I should probably let go. And Sean did a great job. In
We're
the last
both
couple
perfectionists.
episodes. Yeah, so
I deleted the video 2 times, and then the third time was the charm because I was like, the audio's not perfect.
right. And this is on YouTube, by the way, as well now. So
Yeah.
I think this will be the 3rd episode that will be on YouTube. I think so.
They're
right?
all on YouTube.
Well,
but
all the audio is. This
all
has
the
got
audio.
a little videos with it as well. So
Yeah.
the first one we kind of fucked up on, but we got it figured out.
this is actually a really good long 5th episode.
Yeah.
Man, we have so much shit to be talking about from what happened just in the month of June. And then that dude, you say his name was Tom, that won the fucking
Tim Monser, yeah.
Tim kicked ass.
Yeah. Super proud of you, man.
Has he decided like what type of image he wants to get?
He keeps changing his mind. I was just tattooing him. He's like, what about this? What about this? And he's like, ooh, I want this. And it's like,
Man, I'm getting skinny. I don't know. Could we fit this?
right. It's funny. He said that he lost so much weight so fast. He works in an office, and people were like, "Are you sick?"
Oh
You know what I
my
mean?
God.
He's like, "No, I'm healthier than ever." You know.
Right?
But
When
but
you look good.
he's dropping it. It's crazy. Like, cause he showed up, and he's bought new clothes or anything yet, and he likes swimming in his clothes, And I'm like, oh shit.
So have you started buying shirts and stuff?
I've had to definitely switch down to medium shirts, but and then I'm trying to be careful because obviously I'm going to add muscle next, and it's like I'm going to.
Yeah, those
going.
mediums, you can save them for Elliot, which
Exactly.
is cool.
Right.
Or maybe Penelope will be like, Dad, I'm, by the time she's in high school and shit, can I have a shirt to sleep in or something? You'd be like, yeah, I had those mediums at that time when I was when I was on the slim side of stuff.
Right. Yeah. So I could try to keep it. That's why I wear a lot of the same things. I got like 4 shirts. So
I love it. You and me, we both, I'm like, black dope shirt.
yeah.
Word, I feel you.
I'll put on my other shirts at home. Like my whole back of my vehicle is filled with stuff to donate. Just like a ton of black clothes to donate because there's no possible way. I wish I would have kept one pair of pants so I could do that classic like weight loss photo. You know what I mean?
Dude.
Yeah.
Dude, that photo you posted though of your fucking accomplishment,
Right.
of the fat you.
Well, I wanted to show that because people would be like, they're used to me, and they'll be like, I don't remember that you being that overweight. And I'm like, I fucking had diabetes. I was 220 fucking pounds. I was overweight. Like, you know what I mean? Here you go. Look at this
Oh
picture
my
of me.
God.
Even my daughter, she was looking through some photo albums, and she goes, it's just so weird. I don't even remember you like that anymore. You know what I mean?
Right.
Which is wonderful. I don't want them to remember me like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
Dude, it blew my mind because I don't remember. I was like, when did I see Josh that fucking fat?
right.
Never really, because
And that
you
picture
picked the fattest looking picture
I
of
did.
you.
It was the worst.
You were, yeah.
But that wasn't that long ago. I was at the waterfalls with my family.
I know, man.
That's right here in Oregon.
I
It wasn't
loved
like
it.
it was 10 years ago.
It was the perfect.
Yeah.
It was the quintessential fucking frumpy,
Yeah.
all
And
black and white image. Sweaty, shitty, fucking before, and then the whole clean.
I was depressed and down all the time, and I just thought I had accepted my life I was happy with my marriage and my family and my career, but I just felt like shit, and I had accepted that was me. I didn't realize I was sick. You know what I mean? Looking back now, like it's so easy to see. Like you said, you can see it in my eyes. You know what I mean? I don't want you guys to tire of hearing this, but god damn, I'm happy. You know what I mean?
Dude.
Holy shit, fucking life is great. So it's not about, even though I'm into financial success and all that, fuck all of that. I will give all of it up just to feel the health.
Word.
100%.
And I don't get why people. I mean, I get if you've never felt that way and you don't have the
Me too,
perspective.
yeah, but you don't have it to compare it to. I get it. If I would have tasted a little bit of it when I was, fat, I would have been like, oh shit, and started immediately.
Yeah, maybe.
You know what I mean? I just wanted to live a little longer. I didn't know I was going to feel fucking amazing.
Oh my god!
You know?
And it doesn't matter what your fucking motivation is. The fact that if anybody gets into it and they just go, okay, I want to do this for being sexier or fucking whatever it is, to get that motivation to start feeling better and to be healthier is going to affect all these people around you.
Yeah.
When
And once you start, I know it's like, oh, I love carbs, I love this, but honestly, once you start, it's not that bad. Like, just get going, just go, and like when you're into it and it's your life, you know what I mean? You're like, you just have to take that first step.
well, it's breaking the habit,
100%.
and I think that's probably the major thing is just if you're used to eating something, you go, well, I like this, and I don't like other stuff, so I can't eat that, or I wouldn't eat that. Well, yeah, you won't, especially if you keep doing the same things. So one of the things I keep bringing up with you, off camera and everything, when we just be hanging out and talking, is like, your diet's it's gonna change due to your activities, whether you're more active, what food's available, during the time of year, what's going on with the fucking seasons and stuff. Because when it's colder and all that stuff, you start craving carbs and other shit more.
Right, exactly.
Naturally trying to fucking store things for the winter. That's just natural. So you're gonna start going, man, fuck, I'm kind of craving pasta, dude. What's up? You know what I've been craving? Fucking pasta. You know what I've been craving? Bread. You know what I mean? And you will go through these phases. They're just natural.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're gonna have to go, okay, now how am I gonna do that and still keep the balance I gotta keep and still fuel my system, because you're so active now and you don't even know what fuels are really ideal for your system. You're still figuring out all this shit. And that stuff changes. I mean, fuck. I only say that because that's how it is for me. I'm always kind of keeping a fluid fucking open-mindedness to what I should eat or what I can eat or what's going to be good for me. And because my brain kind of tells me,
right,
today we need meat, tomorrow we need fish, tomorrow, or today we need chicken, whatever it is. I just kind of listen to my body, but I make sure, okay, I've tried this from this place, I tried this from this place. So I try to find all the good food sources that I know will work in my system. And then when my body tells me chicken, I do the chicken. And when my body says fucking fish, it's fish. Yeah. And eggs every day.
Your body's an amazing thing, and it'll tell you what, you know what I mean? Look, like the fact that you can fucking see. Like, I mean, you think your body's not going to tell you what you need to eat? Just stop, just listen. You know
Dude,
what I mean?
it's such a trip because we have it all available.
Yeah.
Markets. And
we've just been fucking blindsided by the media about you need to do this and this and this and this and this, and we're not even listening to ourselves. We're listening to the fucking talking heads and everything coming at us in all these directions. Just stop and fucking listen to your body, to yourself, to your spirit, whatever. You know what I mean?
This super cute girl asked me at the gym while I was working out today and stretching. She goes, do they do not boot camp, what's the hardcore fucking cross training? Is it cross training? Yeah, CrossFit. Yeah. Do they do CrossFit at the Y? Because I hadn't seen her there before.
Right.
And she was doing something hardcore with one of the medicine balls that they have. And I was like, I don't think they have CrossFit here. I know they have boot camp. I know they have like some other fucking hardcore class, but they don't have CrossFit.
Right.
But I told her, I was like, because I think that they're afraid of like injury, like issues or something. Because first off, most of the people that I knew that do CrossFit are always fucking in some form of healing an injury.
Right.
So and then I was like, you can kind of just do all of that stuff yourself if you just know what you should do. If you need somebody to tell you like, okay, now we're doing this, now we're doing that, now we're going to do this, now we're doing this, hardcore, blah, 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 keep it up. It's like, that is not good. I went into the thing. I was like, I don't do that shit because I want to listen to my body. I want to like go, okay, now I should do this because my body's like, okay, we should do this. As opposed, I am definitely the fucking pack leader, and I'm like, okay, body, we doing this. But if my body's like, no, I'm like, okay, word. That's okay. And I don't want somebody barking at me going like, brown, dude. Yeah.
I mean, I guess different things work for different people. That wouldn't work for me too well either. I've definitely met people who it worked really well for whatever time
if you
in their
have
life, but
no direction or you don't know and you're not in tune with your body, anything you do is whatever. Then that's cool. But for me,
burning a fuck ton of calories, that's for damn sure.
For me, I'm like, shit, dog. I did squats yesterday. I'm planning on doing fucking upper body and shit the day after tomorrow.
Right.
Today, I've got this group of things I can hit. So how do I hit that and kill it as much as I can and still knock shit out and still be good for tomorrow?
Exactly. Yeah, got to plan ahead a little bit. So.
Plan ahead, and I'm planning a year down the road right now. So I'm like, okay, I want to be 205. I'm 190. I'm sure as soon as I started hitting the booze, I jumped up to like 190. My body's like, booze?
Right.
But it's just the hydration. It's because I'm like pounding water and I'm doing other shit. But I'm probably like 190, 192 right now. And I really just want to be 205. I want to be in that fucking hardcore 205. Get up in the morning, take a shit and a piss.
Right.
205.
Nice.
Yeah. And my homie, my massage guy was telling me, he's like, yeah, bro, that's definitely going to happen.
Right.
And I'm like, I know, right? But I have to do it smart, man.
Yeah.
I can't just be like, yeah, 205, here we come,
Here
bro.
we come, yeah.
Whoo, whoo, whoo.
Right.
You know, I am at to a certain point. Like yesterday, I did some front squats, which I've just been flirting with, but I threw some serious weight on there and held that bar, and I went down and I dipped, and it felt great.
Nice.
And I was like, oh shit. A little scary because I'm like, now I want to do these.
Yeah.
Now we doing these too.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh fuck, yeah, it's
we
game
go.
changer.
Yeah.
Now I'm definitely throwing weight on because that's going to be fucking locking in the upper body and the fucking trunk and my legs.
That's some serious shit.
Serious shit, dude. And that's why those squats are the number one fucking most effective all around body workout you can possibly do.
You know how you know it too is as soon as I started doing squats, that was the one thing that for days would fuck me up.
Yeah.
Be like, why am I walking like an idiot? Oh yeah, squats. Like I can recover pretty fast from most workouts nowadays, but squats fuck me up.
And that's
Yeah.
what they do. I mean, you're building the butt. And there's this fine line because you can totally do squats kind of half-assed and then you can do them really fucking solid. And a lot of people don't, their technique's not great. So they'll actually end up causing more pain and discomfort
Sure.
just by having fucked up form, which I used to do. I used to when I would sit down on the toilet, I would have to grab the counter and ease
Right.
myself down because
Yeah.
I would be like, pop, pop,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
tag that seat.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, well, fuck, now we're here. But no, I don't get that. I don't get the fatigue because I'm not really maxing out anyways. So I'm not doing the burn. I just want to make sure my form's solid as fuck and I'm not wobbly.
Right.
So if I am like, oh shit, that's my last one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Back in the day,
Listening to your
dudes
body.
would go, nope, you got to burn out, bro.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
don't, you want to get
Take
that.
everything to
you need to,
failure.
take it to the point where you need a spot. No, dude, you don't want to have a spot. With all this sports science is coming out that if you need a spot, you're going too hard. Like, you don't want to tear those muscles that hard. It's a less of a fucking progression. It's more of a fucking destruction. So I'm like, okay, cool, man. Now I'm going to be doing this stuff all the goddamn time. And I love the squats and I can't not do them because of how good they make me fucking feel. But at the same time, I'm like, don't go too hard because, your fucking shit will hurt. And it's just walking that fine line. But if dudes who do squats, they know. They're like, when you do squats, you just kind of smile. You're just like, yeah, squats, man.
Today's squat day. I look forward to hearing more about it and seeing where it goes.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, I'll fucking just whip out the booty pics and, and then, show them at 205, tap, tap, tap. But it's about me just loving the fact that I can be healthy.
Yeah.
It's my happy place. And that's why I'm not interested in drinking. If I didn't have the gym, I would have never been like, yeah, it's okay to have a beer and everything, because that would have been that would have been opening a door to a fucking habit that I don't need in my life, because it's one of those things that will give you momentary pleasure. I don't want my momentary pleasure to be derived from things that have overall negative effects or consequences or whatever it is, or at least, or have 50-50 negative to positive. I want my shit to be at least 50% positive.
Nice.
The majority of everything I do
Nice.
my habits should be positive.
Yeah, I like that.
Otherwise you're not, there's an imbalance, I think.
Yeah, I like that.
And so I'm not a saint, but I'm a savage in the bedroom for sure. So I let the dark out from time to time at appropriate times. You know what I'm saying? And I get my rage out in the gym, or with a frying pan when somebody tries to fuck with me.
Right. Shoot at you.
Yeah, shit's gonna go down, and then I move on with life. But the squats, they get me from fucking A to B, bro.
Nice.
And the upper body stuff has been great too, and just the pull-ups and shit, and then looking at my fucking shit and going, wow, dude, look at the triceps coming through.
Right. Yeah. Once you start to see that progress, man, there's no stopping.
There's no stopping.
Yeah.
So what's your weight right now?
160.
160.
Yeah.
So, and how tall are you?
5'9".
5'9". That's perfect. That's like ideal.
Yeah, that's where
I mean, you can.
I kind of chose that from looking at the science behind it, like where should I be, and what that does for me is that gives me an extra 5 pounds to like if I put on 5 pounds, no, who gives a fuck? 165.
Fluctuation is cool.
Exactly. So that lets me kind of sit at a comfortable place. And it also lets me not worry about if I start building muscle, I'm not going to freak out on the scale because I'm in a good, you know what I mean? I measure my waist and everything now to make sure. You know what I mean?
You will know, especially when you keep eating healthy. You're like, well, I'm not putting on bullshit fat.
Exactly.
And then you'll know because you're like, man, I got to eat more. I'm eating more.
Right.
I'm eating more,
And
but I weigh the same.
That's what's been very interesting because I've been kind of pushing it to see. And like, you know, yesterday's a good example. I weighed the exact to the fucking dot, but ate quite a bit more. You know what I mean? And I'm finding that spot of where my, you know, my maintenance is. You know what I mean?
Well, and
so
you had such a stressful fucking month.
yeah.
You're
It's ridiculous.
traveling.
Yeah.
Your diet's never fucking dialed in or on point when you're traveling.
Yeah, and I was worried about that. I did a lot of meal prepping and stuff because I was like, man, these motherfuckers are gonna be stopping at Arby's. Fuck all that.
Yeah.
So I planned it out. So I was really
Airport food.
Yeah, I fucking bought a blender with that is battery fucking charges USB to make smoothies and shit.
Oh,
Fucking pack
shit.
that shit. Yeah, I wasn't
Nice.
fucking around, man.
Nice.
So, yeah.
I didn't even think about that with you. I really didn't.
Yeah.
You know, and that's something that you totally have to be cognitive of. I am when I travel.
Yeah.
How am I
People like to go when I'm traveling. I you know, I let it go, and it's like, fuck, I worked so hard. Fuck any of that,
dude.
You know what I mean?
It's
I'm not gonna let it go.
It's not a vacation. It's your lifestyle.
Yeah.
You feel like shit. That's the problem.
Yeah.
It's not like I feel guilty, so I feel like shit. My body feels
Yeah.
like shit. I was running on premium.
Yeah.
Now I'm running on fucking sludge.
Yeah.
Um,
And everybody tries to like, you got to try this place, you got to try that, and it's like I just kind of be honest with them. Look, I got my meals planned. I got this. This is what I do. That I know this works for me. And then like, you know, like when I was with my family, like I would go out to this restaurant with them, and I would just, if I had enough time to plan the day, I could make sure that I could
do what you wanted.
Yeah, because I want to eat with my family and everything, and you know, I don't want to be crazy. You don't have to be crazy.
Well,
you know what I mean?
There's usually an option.
Yeah,
There's
and there was. It was actually easier than I thought. You can find chicken about anywhere. You know, when everybody's getting getting desserts, I either didn't have it, or if I did, it was, you know, I would split it with somebody or anything to keep it, because, you know, for one, it's like they're ridiculous portions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, who would eat that much? You know, maybe on my birthday.
Drunks.
Thing.
Drunks
yeah.
need that shit.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, man, I planned it out. Fucking kept that shit together. So,
dude, good for you.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part about traveling, and that's why I was like, okay. I mean, so you're going to be home for a while, right?
Well, yeah.
No, you have the Idaho.
Yeah. Other than that, yeah.
And Idaho's not that far.
No, it's not gonna be bad at all. I'm so busy, man. When I run these conventions, I walk so much that I could probably eat anything while these conventions go on. I'm just fucking zipping up and down. You won't see me eating chicken strips like last year. That's for damn sure.
Man, dude, those chicken strips did not look appetizing.
They were terrible.
They were terrible, right? Yeah. I almost got chicken strips last night, but I told you I made meatloaf instead. Right. I was super pumped that I made that decision because I feel good today.
Yeah.
I made garlic mashed potatoes and a meatloaf myself, and I was like, man, I feel fucking good.
I like testing out that stuff. Like, I'm gonna eat this because I'll still check my blood sugar to kind of see. It's like, I wonder what this does, because you get the highest spike about an hour after you eat. So I don't have to check my blood sugar now, but since I have all this shit, I'll just be like, I'll eat something, an hour later see it. And certain foods that spike some people don't spike me, or vice versa.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, like I'll just be interested, like, what would this bread do to me? Oh, yep, fucking super spike, definitely. You know what I mean?
Almost every bread.
Yeah, and then you just kind of learn, you know. And so, like, right now, I've checked my blood sugar maybe once a week, and eventually, just if I feel maybe weird, I might check it. But I used to check it 3 times a day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's been interesting to like not have to do. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I keep on wondering how that's going to fluctuate.
Mm-hmm.
As the healthier you get, the more you work out, as your diet changes and stuff, I think you're just going to keep getting healthier, dude. I think that level just keeps going down.
That's definitely the goal. Like, you know, one of the things I get told the most is because I just turned 44. People are like, you look crazy younger. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's one of the things is like just getting healthier. Like, you don't have to accept that. You don't have to turn 40 and feel like you're an old man.
No, you look like you're in your 30s now.
Yeah. You know, it's like I feel like I feel better and I look better all around, and it's just, I don't know. If you're thinking about doing it, today's the day.
Other question about the non-diabetic status now. Can you get like your legs tattooed and shit?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And
dude.
Yeah, for sure.
How dope is that?
I know. I didn't even think about that till right now. Actually.
How dope is that?
Yeah.
So now that you're fucking cleaning up the fucking palate.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I plan on, like, I've got a lot of open skin, and it's always because I was fat. I didn't want to take my shirt off, and now I'm like, I'm getting this shit all tattooed.
Dude,
Yeah.
you gonna be like, that's why I was thinking about that earlier. I was like, man, you have a lot of nice skin left.
You got
to
a lot
do.
of room now, yeah.
You got some dope, that much more motivation,
Yeah.
man. Look, I got motivated to get in shape and quit the bullshit, quit the fucking English muffins because you were gonna tattoo my stomach, man. So I was like,
Yeah.
time to get my shit together.
Yep.
You know, and that's just that much more of a motivator. It was whatever I needed to go, dog, just quit the goddamn English muffins. Quit your
Right.
fucking bullshit little fucking whatever dessert it was or whatever it is.
Yeah.
This little thing is going to make a huge effect.
And that's what it is, a little thing with a huge effect. Like, that's worth it. It's worth it.
Yeah, man. And you see it. So I see it in you. You see it in me. We see it in each other. We continue to fucking motivate each other, blah, blah, blah. We don't need to keep harping on that per se. But I was curious as fuck because I was like, man, I know that he wasn't supposed to get ink done on his legs, but I got a whole fucking leg to get done that's untapped and most of another leg. And I would be so bummed if I was like, fuck, dog, this bullshit, fucking diabetes
Yeah, like
shit.
suddenly you can't get tattooed.
And now you're healthy as fuck too. So it's like, yeah, dog, let's do this fucking torso.
get tattooed and heal up super fast.
I'm thinking I'm gonna get pretty cut eventually, you know.
Right
So
on.
maybe just like, you know, it's like for you, it's whatever you might want to think.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, I'm just pumped that that's a fucking badass option for you now.
Thanks, man.
We went really long today. I think we've got probably like around a little over 3 hours now.
We could even split this up in part 1 and part 2 possibly.
Yeah,
So if
well-
there is, if you see it say part 1, just make sure you follow through to part 2.
Yeah, we probably just tag it together and
Yeah.
make it be like a fucking Rogan type episode. It was a good one. We had a lot to talk about. There was nothing forced,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else to really have to bring up today.
Sure.
I just want to say, good job, brother.
Thank you.
I'm
As
proud-
always,
I'm-
thanks again, listeners, too.
Yeah.
You know, it's growing every day, and sorry it took so long to get on iTunes. That kind of wasn't on our end, but it's up now, and this should be up soon. Please tell everybody. Please subscribe. Don't just watch it. Listen, please subscribe and tell everybody. And hit us up for questions.
Hit us up for topics. Give
Yeah,
us
yeah,
something.
yeah, hit us
Dude,
up for topics.
So right now we don't plan shit out.
Right.
There's no like
Yeah,
fucking.
that's kind of part of this is we don't even take notes. At the beginning, we take notes, but honestly, you know, the whole idea was just that talk. And
yeah,
you
there
know,
hasn't
once-
been one like I gotta talk about. The only thing we had to talk about was the shit that we had to talk about
yeah, I
that
might
happened
have-
to us in the last
I
month.
might take a small note of, I don't want to forget to talk about blank, but other than that, you know what I mean. But we'd love some topics you guys would like to hear about.
And you heard me talk.
So-
You know, if when you hear some of the conspiracy talk start coming out,
Right.
Cornell, fucking whoever it is, whatever it is,
Yeah.
whoever, whatever. If you want us to get, I love that shit,
Yeah.
dude. Give me
Yeah, if you want us to
anything,
get into it, we'll get into it a little bit more.
dude. And that's when I really get fucking. I mean, if you really want to hear me get going deep into something, just fucking get me started, please,
Nice.
because I'm afraid to do it.
We'll get going.
So yeah, until next time.
Take it easy, guys.